The UP Horticultural Society is an academic organization under the College of Agriculture and Food Science. The organization was established to cater horticulture major students. Here are the events and activities hosted by the organization. Quiz Contest. This event occurs once or twice every semester. The organization's quiz contests include Halamanen and the Agriculture 32 Interlab Quiz Contest, Career Orientation, and Symposium. These events are held to further discuss on different career opportunities in the field of agriculture, having horticulture as one specialization. This is where the alumni of the organization are invited to share their knowledge and experiences to inspire listeners to venture to horticulture. Org Orientation. This event specializes in recruiting aspiring students and those currently taking horticulture as their major to be part of the organization. Furthermore, the organization discusses the history and processes done inside the organization and the purpose of each aspiring member in joining the UP Horticultural Society. Alumni Homecoming and Anniversary Week. Alumni Homecoming is an exciting event prepared for the alumni and residents to bond and get to know each other. It is a way to keep in touch and to keep the connections alive within the organization. Meanwhile, Anniversary Week is usually composed of events such as quiz contests, career orientation, and symposiums. However, the main purpose of the event is to showcase the organization, where students can get to know more about us through a horticultural themed exhibit. The UP Horticultural Society also involves its members in doing activities outside the campus to extend the students' learning experiences. These activities include tree planting and outreach programs in which free fertilizers are given and seminars are conducted to and for the farmers. This, once again, is the UP Horticultural Society, serving the people.
Ayun. Hello, hello, hello. Happy afternoon, everyone. So, ayun, are you ready, guys? So, I want to get your pens and papers ready and ready yourself, for we are about to start another day of fun and adventure. This is Adventure with HortSoc, an agricultural webinar. I am Dominic Salcedo.
Hey, I am Roland Atanante, and we are your host for today. We are so excited to have every one of you here today dahil siguradong hindi kayo magsisisi sa pagsama sa amin sa kakaiba na namang adventure. Of course, this event is brought to you by the UP Horticultural Society.
So, UP Horticultural Society, also known as UP HortSoc, was established on February 14, 1974, upholding its motto, Horticulture for the People. And of course, gusto rin namin pasalamatan ng ating mga sponsors, Bukid Amara, Green Minds Incorporated, Psyche Plants, Ludwig and Lark, Project Upgrade, and Jittery Jots. Salamat po sa patuloy na pagsuporta sa aming adhikain.
Yan. Maraming salamat po sa aming mga sponsors. Para naman po sa ating mga viewers namin last week at sa mga bagong viewers naman natin today, we are inviting you once more to another exciting adventure. Kami ang magiging tour guide ninyo into whatever agricultural or horticultural path you would want to explore.
Also, we would like to remind everyone that there will be an exciting game later. And of course, the winner will receive a special prize from Passion Heart Farm. So, napaka-exciting. Meron pa tayong pa-prize. So,
thank you po sa Passion Heart Farms. At kaya naman siguraduhin natin na sumali tayo mamaya sa game natin. Kaya naman i-download na natin yung Kahoot app. Ayan, makikita po natin sa mga screens natin. Yan yung sa App Store for iPhones, tapos Google Play naman for Android phones. I-download na natin yung Kahoot app para makapagsali tayo sa game natin mamaya at makatanggap ng premyo sa ating sponsor na Passion Heart Farms.
ayan, may pag-game pa later. Alam mo, Lando, sobrang excited ko na rin dahil first time na nating makasama ang ating viewers sa isang makabuluhan at
Yes.
masayang adventure. Yes, and Di ba ikaw, how are you feeling right now? Do you feel any pressure as a new host?
Well, as a new host, I don't feel any pressure right now. The joke. Medyo may kaba. So, anyway, Toms, kumusta ka naman this week?
Ayun, dito lang, alam mo yun, tawag doon, stay at home, work from home,
Mm,
tapos yung dilig-dilig, na, di ba,
dilig-dilig ng mga
ano,
halaman.
yeah, alam mo, grabe kasi this pandemic, tinuruan nila tayo lahat na maging plantitos and plantitas, di
Mm.
ba, ayun. So, yeah, naubusan lang ako ng space kung saan ko ilalagay yung mga bago
Ang
kong
space.
halaman.
Naging gubat na yung apartment niyo, I think.
Oo, ano na siya, Hanging Garden of Babylon.
'Di ba? So this pandemic nga sobrang bored, maraming naging plantito and plantitas out there. Kaya naman sobrang laking tulong talaga ng webinar na to. Of course, 'di ba last week ang topic natin is about succulents and houseplants. Ikaw ba may houseplants ka ba diyan or succulents?
Meron. So, meron ako dito, celu, may mga ferns, tas may mga
Oh.
golden photos. So, most na iba doon mga bigay-bigay lang or mga gupit-gupit lang. Tapos, kami na lang yung nag-propagate, di ba? Ayun, dumami sila, nakaloka, grabe.
Ayan,
Tapos,
'di ba nga?
uh,
Mhm.
wala lang,
Yun, 'di ba
ayun.
nga
So,
last week about
oo,
houseplants and succulents
oo,
yung ano natin. So,
oo.
dahil nga dito marami din yung nagpa-plant poaching, yun yung nakakalungkot kasi dapat hindi yun ginagawa, malapag tayo sa bata. So dapat
Oo.
tandaan natin na bawal po yung plant poaching o yung kuha sa mga pupunta tayo halimbawa sa bundok, ganyan, kukuha tayo
Mm.
basta-basta ng mga ornamental plants na ito dapat ay hindi ginagawa. So, sa mga mamimili po, maging matalino rin po tayo sa pagbili ng mga house plants or indoor plants natin. Dahil, ayun, bili lang tayo doon sa mga katiwa-tiwalang mga tindahan and doon sa talagang
Oo.
legitimate na nagtitinda ng halaman.
Totoo yan. Kasi kadalasan, di ba, may mga permits yan kapag magkukuha ka ng mga, halimbawa, especially endangered, kasi hindi mo alam if endangered ba yung nakukuha mong plant.
Yun. Kasi nga, dapat nga maging maingat talaga tayo kasi yun nga, pwedeng endangered yung plants na kinuha natin. So, 'di ba? Sayang naman.
Yeah, so ayun, speaking of plants, so 'di ba, alam natin na ano, 'di ba, marami tayong mga foliage or yung mga puro dahon-dahon na plants sa alam mo yung
Mm.
mga ano, Celu, Monstera, ganun, yung mga uso ngayon. Pero have you ever meron ka bang alaga diyan na namumulaklak?
Yun nga wala nga kasi natatakot ako mag-alaga ng mga flowering plants. Kasi parang perception ko parang mahirap sila alagaan, mahirap i-preserve, tas medyo mahal din or ganun lang yung perception ko. Yun nga kaya wala rin akong flowering plants na alaga.
Oo. Ayun, kaya super exciting ngayon kasi yung
Mhm.
didiscuss natin is about annual flowering
Annual
plants. So,
flowering plants, yeah.
yeah, so ngayon, mamaya tuturuan tayo ng ating dalawang guest speaker kung paano nga ba mag-propagate, paano mag-grow, and paano mag-manage ng mga flowering plants. Kung gusto nyo halimbawa sa bahay nyo lang or pwede nyo rin siyang gawing business, why not, di ba? So ayun,
Ayan.
ayun pala, wag nating, pwede kayong mag-comment down below if you're enjoying this webinar. If may mga questions kayo, huwag kayong mahiyang magtanong.
Yes po sa mga viewers po natin, mag-leave lang kayo ng comment sa baba and then ayun, pwedeng matanong natin siya sa mga speakers natin mamaya. Ayan, sa mga gusto po magpabate, pwede rin naman po mag-comment kayo diyan.
Oo, kung gusto niyo ipabati yung mga kamag-anak niyo sa Tarlac, why not? Joke lang. So,
Ayan.
ayun, excited ka na ba?
Yes, super super excited ako malaman dahil yun nga sobrang interesting nung topic natin ngayon. Kaya naman, bago natin ipakilala yung speaker natin, first speaker natin, ay may papanood po muna kaming mga video clips sa inyo bago po natin ipakilala yung una nating speaker.
Ayun, wow, grabe. Kakaiba
Mm.
talaga. So, ayun, moving right along, alam kong sabik na kayo, sabik na everyone para matuto. So, ngayon, introduce na natin yung first speaker for today. Our speaker for today is a graduate of BS Agriculture, major in horticulture at UPLB with 20 years experience as a professional seedman. He received international training in plant nutrition, crop protection, and biological and natural enemies in Netherlands and Norway. He specializes in commercial greenhouse production and hydroponics, and he is also the former president of Allied Botanical Corporation, board member of the Philippine Farm and Tourism Development Association, Calabarzon. Without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Michael Caballes.
Good afternoon, Dominic and
Good
Good
Ron.
afternoon.
afternoon. Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon po,
sir.
Sir Mike.
Yes, at
Yan.
magandang hapon din sa lahat ng ating mga viewers ngayong araw.
Kumusta po
Ayun.
kayo, sir?
Uh,
Okay naman, medyo alam mo naman ang pandemic, everything is affected. Business has to survive, so we're trying to find means and ways to continue and move forward sa negosyo ng pagdahalaman.
Hmm. Yeah, actually nga, no, sobrang daming businesses yung nag-a-adjust ngayon this pandemic kasi sobrang laki talaga ng impact sa mga businesses. Yun.
Yeah, that's true. But I think this is the best time for agriculture to move forward.
Mm.
And this is where we are needed more or the most. When it comes to plant production, food production, and at the same time, ito naman sa amin sa negosyo namin ng kasamahan natin mamaya si kasamahang Rafi is on not only aesthetic but also to provide some ano namin dito parang emotional healing for people who are already depressed on the pandemic. We bring them flowers to at least provide some healing support by plants. Kaya dumami ang nagpa-plant ngayon di ba? Kung natin dumadami ang plantitos plantita kasi you're bored at house, wala ka na magawa, you're depressed, so they pay their attention to growing plants and hopefully that makes them at least yung mental health nila kahit papaano makatulong sa mental health ng mga tao ngayon, especially sa city. So,
Yeah, true indeed.
Yeah.
O, totoo nga po, marami rin studies po kasi na nag-prove, di ba, dati na, ayun po, na therapeutic po talaga and nakatulong talaga sa ating mental health yung, yung ating mga plants, any greens and, nakatulong talaga siya with our mind space. Kaya, parang ngayon, since ngayon nga medyo we are experiencing a mental turmoil, especially na naka-isolate tayo and nandito lang tayo sa bahay, why not bring an extra step to help your mental health within your home, 'di ba? Why not naman?
Yeah, it really helps a lot. In fact, kasi ang Bukid Amara, we're very young into what we call the farm tourism industry. We're barely 2 years old, but in the last couple of months, we have gained very good social media followings because of the colors that we put in the farm. So ngayon, nung nag-pandemic, nami-miss na ng mga tao. Ang request nila sa amin, Sir Mike, kahit mag-post lang kayo ng mga bulaklak sa mga page ninyo, malaking tulong na po sa amin makakita ng colors at mga halaman. So that's why we continuously, whatever we have, kahit pandemic, we continues to grow. Tuloy-tuloy ang aming pagtatanim ng mga bulaklak, no matter what the situation is, hoping that there will be a positive future, that will come along, and hoping that we can open our doors again to tourism.
Yeah, sir. We're also hoping na magbukas din talaga ulit yung mga businesses na at mapuntahan ng mga tao. But before that, sir, marami pong bumabate sa inyo, mga viewers po natin.
Oh, okay.
Ayun po, maybe we can read some comments or mga pabati po muna.
Sige.
Yan po, kay John Romeo P. Depositario. Hello, maayong hapon sa tanan, watching all the way from Opol, Misamis Oriental. Wow!
Wow.
So, viewers tayo from all over the Philippines. Yan. Sa pa po mga comment. Ayan, from Davao del Norte naman si Elois Motasegi. Ayan, hi, watching from Davao del Norte. Hello po. Ayan, keep watching lang po tayo.
Good afternoon po sa kanila. Pasensya na, medyo malabo mata ko, hindi ko mabasa ang mga comment. But yeah, at salamat po at nanonood kayo ngayong hapon.
Ayan,
May
Sa
greeting po tayo from Doha. Si OJ Bardahe, good afternoon daw, watching from Doha, Qatar. Bongga.
Wow. May mga tayo from overseas.
Galing. Oo. Malayo na pala nararating ng ating Facebook Live at
Ito naman po,
Agventure.
Ito naman from La Union, si Amadeo Tapik Jr. Hello po sa inyo. Magandang hapon po. La Union.
La Union. And also, meron naman si Mark J. Corpus watching daw from Bataan. Hello po.
Yan, comment lang po kayo sa lahat po ng mga nanonood. Comment lang po kayo ng mga gusto nyong batiin or mga questions or comments po sa mga speaker po natin at babasahin po natin yan mamaya. This one from Melanie Ortega. Good afternoon from the City of Love. Melanie Ortega of Iloilo Guides Incorporated. Hello po, magandang hapon po. So yan, di ba? Madami talaga tayong mga viewers, Doms. Yan, from Binyan Laguna, si Miss Gladys Caspe. Cute daw po ng mga host. Wow, thank you po. Cute din daw po ng mga speaker. Yan, si Irvin Atico. Yan po. Actually, madami din tayo, Doms, na from UP Horticultural Society na nanonood ngayon, mga brothers and sisters din natin. So it's in a way, kumbaga parang rin natin to, bonding na lang din natin tong webinar, itong mga natin mga brothers and sisters ng UP Horticultural Society.
So, ayun, meron tayong greeting April Rose Texon Hunos watching daw from Singapore. Hello po.
Wow, as far as Singapore.
I think ayun, siguro sila, no? Like, na-excite na silang makinig and matuto as well. So, ayun, I think the viewers are really excited to hear na rin you, sir. So, we would like to give you, sir, the spotlight and tell us about your topic, sir.
Okay, well, very briefly, I was asked to present today an introductory class on propagation of annual flowers. Unfortunately, we have a very limited time. I hope later on we can organize a more in-depth class on the flower production, because I'm really willing to share what we've had developed, the technology that we use in Bukid Amara to all your viewers, no? So parang itong first presentation natin is more of parang introduction lang muna, very simple and very basic po. But later on, we can maybe on a later date we can have a more in-depth class on flower production. Kasi medyo broad po ang coverage ng annual flowers. We have to discuss them one by one, to be honest. So so if you look at the next slides today, we only have 3 topics to discuss with you, which is the annual flowers of Bukid Amara. These are basically what we have grown and tested already that will grow under Philippine tropical condition. Remember, majority of these annual flowers are bred from overseas. Most of them are bred from temperate countries like in America, in the Netherlands, in Europe, in cold climates of Japan, for example. So they are actually not bred for tropical conditions. So what we did in our first year of operation is we tried to trial varieties that will adapt to our climate, and such that we came up with our own range of tried and tested varieties ng annual flowers for different seasons. And then I'll show you, based on our experience for the last almost 2 years, we were able to categorize the varieties of the flowers that we grew or we're growing based on the difficulty or ease of growing, at least, no? Kasi may mga, mamaya explain ko sa inyo, kasi may mga varieties na hanggang mahirap. May mga varieties naman na mabilis lang talaga. And this is basically what we wanted to maybe on a later, more advanced seminar, we can discuss it later on. And then number three, we will be focusing on the plant petunia, because for the last what is it? About a year now, we've been promoting petunia because there's a lot of interest on petunia, and we would like to share to our viewers today our, a little knowledge on growing, correctly petunias. Okay, so yeah, so let me start with sige, these are the varieties that we have already in the farm. These are the edible flower collection that we have grown. Well, actually, sunflowers, one of it. Ito yung isang rendition namin. For example, we use violas here, yung parang pastel color na yellow and blue. Those are viola flowers. We mix it with salad. So we came up with our own edible salad mix, pako salad mix in this rendition. Yeah, of a salad. So, marami pong klase ng flowers na edible. Ang akala lang kasi ng iba, blue ternate lang ang edible.
Opo.
Yun lang kasi ang
Yes po, sir.
tinatawag.
Din alam ko na.
So, yun lang ang alam ng karamihan, blue ternate lang. But basically, there are more collections out there. I think on our range, we have about 8 or 9 edible flower. If you go back to the previous slide, I can show you the collection. So you have the sunflower, and then yung pink, white, and purple. On the left is the cosmos. And then yung parang spike na white-pink in the center is Angelonia. It's a new variety. I think in the Philippines, we were the first one to grow it. We are going to release this variety probably next year. Angelonia, it's a very sturdy annual. We're happy to know that it can be grown in the country. And then, of course, blue ternate, as you know, the blue one, the blue flower. And then above it is the Pentas lanceolata, or star cluster, as they say. And then we have the Sweet William, and then the violas. Sige. So, yan po yung mga klase. All right. And then how it's used, we mix it in the salad as garnish. Yeah. And then if you see the next photo, you can also use it for, let's say, ice cubes.
Ice cubes.
You see, para mas makulay ang drinks natin, nilalagyan namin ng edible flower. Or you can also use mint, for example, or herbs, pampalasa naman. But for edible flower, it looks colorful. If you put it on a glass of water, ang gandang tignan. And then we have very fancy, very colorful. And then we made this a specific recipe. It's fresh lumpia roll, but puro bulaklak yung nasa sa loob. So para may decoration yung rice roll.
May surprise po.
May surprise, kasi parang may pattern, may mga flowers na makukuha ka doon sa loob. So yan, these are some of the uses. Like I said, we wanted to popularize the use of edible flower. There are more flowers that can be grown and used for garnish, for salads, for dishes, even for pastry. Majority of these flowers in abroad are being used for pastry making. But they can easily be grown in the country. So we are encouraging people to actually try it out. So yeah, and we already identified a series of crops. I think about, let me tell you, we have the calendula, we have the cosmos, we even have the edible marigold, the French marigold variety. There is a edible marigold. And of course, we have the nasturtium, we have the pentas. What else do we have? Of course, sunflower is one of it. The angelonias. So yeah, it's fun to see this in a menu. So yeah, and this is basically hopefully later on we can discuss this as another topic then, edible flowers naman. Sige. So yeah, dahlia. We have, of course, some dahlias are big, some dahlias are dwarf. So this is a dwarf version of a dahlia. We are able to grow it in our climate. For everyone's information, Bukid Amara is located in Lukban, Quezon, at the foot slope of Mount Banahaw. I wanted to emphasize this because we have a very unique microclimate in Banahaw, as well as Makiling. We have a very similar climate with Mount Makiling. We are a rainforest in that sense, we get 260 days of rain every year. So it's wet and very wet. Yun ang aming classification sa climate. So with that kind of weather, it's really a challenge for us to grow annual flowers because for the information of everyone, majority po ng annual flowers na inyong ginogrow are sun-loving. They require at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight to flower. So if you don't have the sunlight, they won't flower. Okay? They will just produce a lot of leaves. Parang ganon, minsan, no? Or sometimes their flower are so delicate na natutunaw ang bulaklak sa ulan. So, it's ang tawag namin dito in the first year of our operation, tuition fee. Kasi trial kami ng trial, testing kami ng testing. Ang laki na ng tuition fee ginastos namin para mapag-aralan kung ano yung pupwede sa tag-ulan, alin ang pupwede sa tag-init, alin ang mamumulaklak sa tinatawag naming short day condition, meron pong ganyan, at alin ang mamumulaklak sa long day condition. So meron kasi mga bulaklak na nasubukan namin pag dating ng short day, halimbawa pagdating ng November until let's say February, ang dami-daming bulaklak. Pero nung tinanim namin the same bulaklak ng May, June, July, which is long day na, mahaba ng araw, aba, ay naging 6 feet tall at wala masyadong bulaklak, naging gubat lang. So, may technical term po dyan. Ang tawag doon is facultative short day. Yun ang tawag nila, ano? So, ibig sabihin, namumulaklak lang siya na maganda pag short day. Parang yung poinsettia, di ba? Nakita yung poinsettia. Siguro alam naman ng karamihan yung poinsettia na gumaganda lang, namumula lang pag short day. So, ganoon po. May mga, ito mamaya, yung sa category, ipapaalam namin sa inyo kung ano yung mga classification na yan. So, moving forward, the next one that I wanted to show you is itong mounding petunia, which we have grown already. Ang kagandahan nito for landscape industry, if you want a seasonal bloom sa landscape ninyo, this can create a very nice carpet of colors in different color palette pa. Whether it's warm color or cold tone color, ang ganda-ganda pong tingnan nito. So this is mountain petunia. Sa petunia group po kasi o yung sa petunia species, marami kasing cultivar. Meron tayong tinatawag na petunia grandiflora. Pag sinabing grandiflora, ito yung mga petunia na malalaki ang bulaklak. Meron naman tinatawag na petunia multiflora. Ito po yung nakikita nyo sa picture ngayon. Multiflora, ibig sabihin multiflower, ibig sabihin mas prolific ang pamumulaklak niya. So at saka mas matagal ang pamumulaklak. So we have been able to screen out these varieties already and we know which one would grow well in the Philippines. But like I said kanina, ito ginogrow lang namin tuwing summer because pag tag-ulan, tunaw lahat yan. As in, they melt in the rain. So, but if you plant it November, and at the same time pala, for the information of everyone, petunia is sensitive to day length. So they require at least 10 hours of day length to flower. So pag mas maikli sa 10 hours ang day length natin, hindi siya mamumulaklak. Dahon lang siya ng dahon. So kasi hindi nalalaman ng mga growers yan. Kami, na-discovery lang namin dahil nag-grow kami, no? So nagtanim kami niyan, nag-try kami magpabulaklak ng December, walang bulaklak. Ayun pala, because they are short day. Yun nga. They don't flower short day. 10 hours at least minimum. So kaya ang petunia is a summer crop. You only grow it for summer. Until maybe ngayon, nag-grow pa rin kami kasi hindi pa siya short day. Kaya pa namin mag-grow until maybe November. But November, hindi kami mag-grow ng petunia kasi kailangan mo na artificial lighting na para mamulaklak siya. Okay, sige.
Yan po sir, napansin ko din perfect talaga for picture taking yung farm niyo po.
Yeah, kasi we made our talaga as as a horticulturist tayo, di ba? Meron tayong kaunting background sa landscaping and the principles and elements of landscape design. So lahat ng aming talagang nag-invento kami ng hashtag, we call it farmstatic. So it's aesthetically
Aesthetic.
pleasing. The way we grow the crop, it has to be aesthetically pleasing to the eye in any angle of photography. So, yun ang ginawa natin sa farm design namin. Before we started our farm, talagang may master plan kaming ginawa. Pinagplanuhang mabuti. Even the production and the design creation. So, later on po sa tourism, pwede natin pag-usapan yun. So, now, this one, kasi marami sa Pilipinas naghahanap ng lavender field. Wala namang lavender field dito.
Opo.
Yes.
Tama ba? So ngayon, sabi ko, okay, I have to look for a sort of like similar blue flower that can imitate a lavender field. Luckily, I found one, and it's actually called a salvia. It's actually related to lavender. They belong to the same family. But this one is more tropical. They can tolerate the heat. So sabi ko, tinry ko siya noong 2018 and it worked well. So, and then we growed it mass production, and then now it's commercial. So this specific variety that we're growing is adaptable to our weather, and they can tolerate the rain. They bloom about siguro 5-6 months. Kaya niya continuous bloom. Mag-start siya mag-bloom mga 80 days, and then after 80 days, it can go blooming for another 5 months. Kaya. So, yeah. So I'll show you more photos of it. Sige, next photo. You see, and it has a little bit of fragrant smell also. Not as strong as lavender, but it does have a smell. Sige, next photo natin. Okay, and with the changes of light quality, medyo nag-iiba rin yung color niya. Na minsan mukhang blue siya, minsan purple, minsan lilac ang color. So, you can see in this one, meron nagpiprenup, kinunan lang namin. And ang kagandahan dito, we use it in landscape, parang bloom field ang effect. Parang wildflower effect ang gusto naming paratingin sa design na ginawa namin dito. So, next please. So, yan, mapansin nyo, ito naman, pag iba ang lighting, blue naman siya. Diba? So, nag-iiba siya. Next please. So yan. So ganyan siya tingnan doon sa hindi siya ganun kataasan. Maybe about 40 to 50 centimeter. Kaya ang decision namin next time, itataas namin yung bed para mas mukhang matangkad. Okay? Yeah. 'Di ba mas maganda para sa IG at sa Facebook?
Opo, parang ang romantic nga po nung feels nung
field. Especially during late afternoon. Yun ang best time.
Yung golden hour.
Correct, oo. And then yung silhouette, yung rim lighting, ang ganda. Okay. Sige, next, of course, it has what we call a bicolor version. It's also a salvia. It comes with white and blue flower in one crop. Hindi lang very obvious yung dito. This is a bicolor. Meron yung blue bract. So it breaks the color, pang-break ito kasi, pang-color break sa landscape, itong white, yung white field, no? So, and then after this bicolor, we actually have salvia white as well. So, ayan yung salvia white. In-intercrop namin sa blue. So, blue and white, maganda yung effect. Maganda rin ang effect niya. So we have these 3 varieties. The next crop naman, that we have grown already is what we call the Gromprena. The English name is Globe Amaranth. It comes in many colors. It's a very hardy crop, underrated, underappreciated, but we love it a lot. It's very hardy. It's rain tolerant. You can grow it through the rain. And it provides you can also use the flowers as dried flower arrangement in the ascat flower. Mamaya ipapakita natin sa kanila. Sige. So next, and then it has what we call, this one is a strawberry red color na Gomprena. We have it in white, in bicolor rose, pink, deep purple, orange, carmine, and also itong strawberry red. So we have plenty of colors. Ang kagandahan nito, pag nag-grow mo ng sabay-sabay, ibang-iba ang dating sa bouquet. Maganda siya pang bouquet actually. Sige, next. So, ito mga ano natin, mga brad and sis natin. So, yan, mga nung pumapasyal sila sa amin, no? So, yan yung effect niya sa Bloomfield. Sige pa. Next. So, ito naman yung pink. And then at the back will be the red color. Yeah, and then the next one. Yeah, ito naman yung strawberry red. So, ang ganda nyo. Wala kasi masyadong ganito mag-carpet na red. At saka yung, ang ganda kasi nung fine buttons niya.
Opo.
Iba yung fine buttons eh. So, mas magandang effect niya. So, this is for Bloomfield use. Now, for cut flower use naman, this is how we are promoting it. Kasi, like I said, these are underrated flowers, annuals. Wala masyadong gumagamit ng mga flower shop. Pero hindi kasi nila nakikita how nice it is when they use it for bouquet. Di ba? Ganda, di ba?
Sobrang ganda ng color combinations.
Ang ganda ng color combination niya. And you see the photo on the left, yung tatluhan na heart shape is actually a fresh cut gomprena, and the photo on the right is actually a dried flower. Meaning natuyo na yan, nalanta na, pero nare-retain niya kasi yung color niya. Hindi siya nag-fade. So maganda yan for dried flower arrangement. Yung iba, ginagawa, kinakat nila yung pinaka-flower bud, ginagawang potpourri. Alam niyo yung potpourri? Yung parang nilalagyan ng scent. Oo, tapos nilalagay sa toilet or sa kung saan man. So this can be used as a potpourri flower. Yeah. So, yan. And then next photo you would see, yan naman yung strawberry red namin na gomprena when you use it as a cut. Again, for flower shop owners, I am encouraging you to try this variety as a cut flower because it's really underrated. We love this flower a lot. We have been promoting this for almost a year now. As part of our mission in Bukid Amara is to really promote the use of annual flowers, more varieties of annual flowers, and introduce more varieties, more colors of annuals for the ornamental industry, for the landscape industry and for other uses. Pati sa edible, pati sa food and beverage, if we can do it. So yun ang mission namin talaga, ipakilala itong mga annual sa mundo o sa Pilipinas. Alam na kasi ng ibang tao sa mundo eh. Tayo lang nahuhuli. Kaya gusto natin maka-catch up sa kanila. Yan, sige. So the next crop naman is marigold. Amarillo ang tawag nila. Now, ito ayaw ng mga tao kasi sabi nila, pampatay. Mabaho daw ang amoy. But I think the old people are referring to the old marigold varieties na talagang mabaho. The new marigold varieties right now actually has a very nice smell, very nice fragrance. They were bred to have that very parang sampagita smell ang aking description sa ibang mga varieties na try namin kasi talagang mabango siya. And also, these are bred to have a very high, big na flower head. Karamihan kasi ng marigold na bibili mo sa market is yung mga maliliit lang bulaklak. The ones that we had are malalaki. As in, kasi laki ng siopaw na maliit. So, ganon. Lumalaki sila ng ganon. It comes in yellow and gold and orange, different use of those warm tones of color. And then we have dwarf. We have what we call knee-high marigold. Yan, tulad nito. These are the knee-high and the cut flower types. So meron din kasing marigold for cut flower. We have those varieties as well. We have varieties for bedding, yung pang landscaping. We have varieties for potting, yung pang decoration. So there are many types of varieties. And then the cut flower naman for flower arrangement for garland. Sa countries like Thailand and India, ito kasi ang staple nila when it comes to offering sa Hinduism and Buddhism. Yung garland ng marigold.
Oo. Opo.
Yeah.
Sir, di ba po meron daw pong meron pong property tong marigold for 'di ba, insect repellent po.
Well, yeah, but you have to extract the property to use it as a
Opo.
repellent. What I can tell you based on my own experience is there is
Opo.
a specific variety of marigold that we use to control nematodes.
Mm.
Okay, it has a nematicidal effect. In fact, we gave some seeds of it many years ago to our friends in Erie. Kasi nakipag-meeting kami sa Erie noon, nangangailangan sila nung marigold as a control for the control of nematodes. We were able to find a variety for them. Ano, meron 'yan. So pwede 'yan as a natural solution. Ano, and also another thing that I can tell you based on our experience, since I had trainings with integrated pest management, there is a specific variety also that we identified that attracts spider mites naman. So red spider mites. So ito, nung nakita namin dun sa variety trial namin, sabi namin bakit puro web itong variety na to. So upon closer inspection, wow, ang dami ng spider mites, doon lahat
Spider.
nagpupugad. Okay? So what
Sir,
does
ang,
it
ang
Yes?
spider mites po ay natural enemies po yun, di ba?
No. Ang spider mites is a destructive pest.
Ah,
Okay, so it's a different species that feeds on the plant and actually is it's not wanted sa halaman. But you are right, there are what we call predatory mites naman, no? So like Amblysseus suwirski, and that one naman is used to predate on eggs, larva of whitefly and aphids and things like that. So, but going back to my that marigold variety, so since we know that it's attracting a lot of spider mites, we are now using that specific marigold variety as what we call buffer plant. This is a technical term, but for the understanding of our viewers, ang buffer plant po, tinatanim namin sa unahan ng main crop para bago pumasok yung peste doon sa halaman namin, sa main crop, doon sila lahat magko-congregate. Doon sila magpupugad. So pag nagpugad sila doon, doon namin sila ikokontrol. Hindi na sila pupunta doon sa main crop.
crap.
So itong kasing technique medyo hindi pa napapractice masyado sa Pilipinas, itong pagtatanim ng mga buffer crops o buffer plants. So there are specific plants that you can actually plant in your garden to attract pests and then you control the pest there. Ngunit huwag mong pababayaan kasi pag pinabayaan mo naman, pag nabusog na sila, tapos na yung buffer crop mo, pupunta na doon sa yung So, yun lang po yung caution ko, Kasi that's how we manage our pest We multi-approach, holistic
Opo.
approach control.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, may question po pala from Irvin Ativo. So, question niyo po is, kailangan po ba na naka-intercrop ang marigold para po mamatay yung nematodes? At ilang percent daw po yung plant density para maging effective?
No. What they do this is they broadcast the seeds. After one cropping, you broadcast. Kung alam mo na may problema ka sa nematode, kasi nematodes are mobile di ba? Especially if you have sandy soil, no? They can creep and crawl to the next plot very easily. So you can easily. What you need to do is what they do is they broadcast the seed as ground cover. Parang munggo, di ba? I-broadcast mo sa field mo
Opo.
cover and let it control the nematode. And then after that, next cropping, saka ka magtanay ng crop mo. So, hindi basta intercropping.
Hindi po siya sabay with the main crop.
Oo. Kailangan, after the cropping mo, saka mo i-broadcast yon, use it as parang ground cover, and then saka mo, and then after the next season, hopefully, mabawasan na yung population ng nematode mo, saka mo, itaniman ng main crop. Yeah. Yun. Sige. So next is, let's see. Next slide, please. Angelonia. Again, this is an introduction. We are now mass producing this. It's a very good crop for landscape. It can last for a year. Ito lang yung nakita naming annuals na kaya naming palampasin ng isang taon. So, which is good. And it's very sturdy and it's an edible flower. So we use this as a garnish. Sige. So, now we go to celosia. Ito yung tinatawag nilang palong manok. Ano? Again, underrated, but I think it has a lot of potential as a cut flower. There are two types that we grow. This one is called celosia cristata. Ano, yung palong, ang shape niya is parang palong ng manok. Pero ngayon kasi yung mga bago is more o parang broccoli head na ang itsura, hindi na mukhang palong manok, kundi parang broccoli na. So it's a very nice for flower arrangement. Sige, for bouquets. So yeah. So for landscaping, it also looks nice. Next. So now this is the plumosa, a new variety from Japan. Excellent rain tolerance, very hardy sa rain, grows very well, very low maintenance, can last for 8 months in the field, provides you with a very nice solid red color, purple leaves. The whole plant actually, when you spread it out, it's all gonna turn red. The key in growing this variety is not fertilization. The key in growing this variety is deprive it of fertilizer to get its color. So, baliktad. So, it's very low maintenance. Kasi pag
Opo.
pinatabaan mo ng pinatabaan, magi-green at magi-green lang ang dahon. Pero pag tinigil mo mataba, pinatuyuan mo, control mo ang irigasyon, mainit ang panahon, ay nako, magi-explode ang kulay niya. Sige.
Oh.
Next.
Ganda nga, sir, ng kulay.
Ganda ng kulay niya,
Opo.
tsaka yung niya.
Opo.
So, you see how dark it is? So, and it's a very nice addition to a boring green landscape. Kasi normally, ang landscape natin ngayon na perennial, puro green eh. So, this can give you a very nice dark red color sa landscape design.
Ay,
So,
sir,
yeah.
tama po ba ako, sir, na yan po yung tinatawag po minsan na palong manok po?
Yes, yung kanina, yung pinakita
Okay,
natin yung variety, yung Celosia cristata. This one naman, yung medyo patulis is tawag dito ay Celosia plumosa.
Lumos.
Yeah. Sige, next. Ayan, makita mo dito, yung palong manok yung nasa right, no? Tapos yung plumosa yung matutulis nasa left pala yung So yeah. So yan yung we're trying to promote this as a very nice cut flower variety. Hindi kasi na-appreciate pa, very underrated. Very easy to grow. Hindi ganun kahirap. So it's ideal for cut flower grower. Sige. Yeah, well, this is basically, we've been experimenting kasi marami nagtatanong sa amin, do you do cut flower arrangement? Sabi ko, no, what we do is whatever we can harvest from the field, parang wildflower, yan, tatalian lang namin, bouquet na. Basta maganda yung color combination. So, it works. If you have the blue salvia, if you have the cosmos, the sunflower, if you have the marigold, and then we have the verbena, then you get a very nice wildflower effect doon sa aming mga bouquet. So, yun naman ang kagandahan doon.
Parang nga pong medyo boho yung feels niya po, no, na medyo tropical din po.
Yes, oo. Sorry, hindi ko alam yung boho.
Opo. Pero parang ganyan po kasi po yung sa parang aesthetic po nun, parang puro mga wildflowers po yung ginagamit po.
Yes, correct. That's what we wanted to do. Even yung pantali namin is all natural. Yung mga damo ang pinantatali namin sa sabi ko, we don't like plastics also in our, if you want a bouquet from us, sabi ko, whatever we can pick, yun ang i-supply namin sa inyo. So, and natural din ang tali. Yeah. So, kasi, unique eh. Wala kasing, most kasi ng mga flower bouquet ngayon is naka-plastic, tama ba?
Yes,
o naka-ribbon. So, parang,
naka-ribbon.
Oo, mas gusto namin itong natural looking. Mas iba yung Yeah. Yan, sige. And these are all grown in our field. Sunflower, we've tried many varieties from all over, from the world over. We stick with one that is most popular, which is a deep orange. The rest, we normally grow only on occasion because there's no demand. siguro kung may demand na sa like yung mga bicolor, yung white, we've grown a very nice white sunflower in our field. Unfortunately, walang market kaya tinigil ko na lang. Sayang naman. So, yun lang yung problema kasi, no? And then we grow a nice dark, parang maroon o ang tawag dyan, magenta o purple na flower o brown. Sa tourism, wow, nung nakita ng mga tao, malayo pa sila, ay bakit bulok na, tuyo na yung mga sunflower nyo kasi kulay brown daw. So, hindi nila
Kasi po sa
na-appreciate.
isip natin, yellow yung sunflower eh.
Exactly.
Kaya
So, akala nila patay na yung mga sunflower namin.
may ganun palang sunflower.
Oo. Yun nga, sayang nga, no? Walang market. Mahal pa naman, mas mahal ang buto ng mga yun kumpara doon sa regular na buto na ginagamit namin. So yeah, sunflower, I think kasama natin si Rapi mamaya, who will discuss more in depth on its production. Sige, next. Okay, what I've shown you earlier are mostly what we grow outdoor. In the greenhouse naman, we do grow what we call hanging baskets, like yung nasa likod yan, mga begonia hanging baskets. And right now, we are specializing on petunia hanging basket. Next slide. So these are the petunia hanging basket that we are now producing. After the pandemic, ngayong pandemic kasi, nawala na kami ng negosyo sa tourism, so we have to try and see what else we can produce and sell. So luckily, marami nakakagusto nitong hanging basket petunia, kaya dito kami nagko-concentrate ngayon. In fact, we have a few hundred pots or baskets left in our inventory at the moment. And ang kagandahan dito kasi, these are what we call trailing varieties. So pag sinabing trailing varieties, hindi ito yung basta-basta lang tawag dito, nasa tuktok ang bulaklak. Bibilog pa po yan hanggang baba, up to about half a meter. Malalaglag pa yung bulaklak niya. Magti-trail. Oo, magti-trail.
Opo. Para magka-cascade po siya pababa.
Yun, cascade, exactly. So magka-cascade pa siya pababa in a couple of months of bloom before it dies. So yun ang aming ini-specialize ngayon. And these are what we call the expensive varieties that we are now growing. Very high value. The technique of growing is also very difficult at first. Mamaya isi-share namin sa inyo yung easy way to do it because marami ang nagtatanong sa amin how to do this properly. Meron kaming konting tips on how to do it. Isi-share namin sa inyo mamaya. So next, you see, this is what we tried growing it in small plastic pots. Unfortunately, hindi mas popular kaysa dun sa hanging basket. Mas gusto pa rin nila yung hanging basket. Ang problema ko lang sa hanging basket, ang hirap-hirap i-transport. Unlike itong mga potted hanging, mabilis.
Opo.
So we incur more charges sa logistics dun sa hanging basket. Sige, next. So kaya ngayon, yung mga hanging basket, yan, binabox namin ganyan. So pag dineliver namin, it's very colorful. One box, you can see how wide the spread of the flower is, because it can fill the whole box with flowers. So the spread is about 30 to 50 centimeter itong mga varieties na na-identify namin na pwede. So kaya marami siyang mamulaklak talaga. It's a very specialized variety. I get a lot of comparison with other petunia hanging basket that they buy in Tagaytay, which is very cheap. Unfortunately, they're using the wrong variety. It's not a hanging variety. So we always have to explain the difference between the varieties they grow and the varieties that we grow. So it's on the variety. It's not about the and the production technique as well. So, ang isang buto nito is 15 pesos. So isang packet namin na 1,000 seed pack is 15,000. So it's not cheap. So it's expensive. But now people are appreciating the quality that we are now providing when it comes to hanging basket kasi we're doing it correctly. professionally. That's what we wanted to do, professionally.
Professionally.
Yeah, sige, next. So yan, yung parang example lang ng colors, no? So yan, and it can grow further. It can envelop the whole basket with flowers as it grows older. Yeah. So aside from that, these are vinca that we were producing for a client in Manila. It's a specific vinca variety that is designed for as a bedding plant for landscaping. It's naturally compact and dwarf. It was not sprayed with any dwarfing hormone. So we have these varieties already that are identified to do well under our condition because vinca are also susceptible to some diseases in the tropics. These are fairly strong against those diseases. So, and the blooms are quite large compared to the regular vinca. I don't know kung alam ng mga tao yung vinca, ang tawag nila minsan periwinkle, no?
Opo,
Yun.
Twinkle.
Oo.
Hindi.
Meron kasing dalawang ano yan eh. These are the annual type. I know there's a perennial variety of vinca which are actually being bred by our colleague dyan sa IPB. Meron tayong mga breeder dyan ng vinca na perennial, I think, which are equally nice. If yun nga lang under-promoted, sana matulungan natin ma-promote yung mga local breeding natin ng vinca dyan sa IPB. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Those are what I would say yung aming ginugrow, ano. Ito yung based on our experience, we were able to categorize the crops and hopefully you can share this to the viewers later on, no. Naka-create kami ng 5 category doon sa mga flowers na nag-grow na namin. Yung category 1, we call it easy growing or easy to grow. And then yung category 2, ito yung require higher knowledge. Ibig sabihin, kailangan namin ng mas maraming kaalaman para palaki yung halaman. And then pangatlo is needs highest technique and experience. Hindi namin basta-basta mapalaki dahil kulang pa sa technique.
Expert.
Sa expertise, sa experience. So, ganon. And then, number 4, yung kailangan ng malamig na panahon. Siyempre, hindi naman lahat pwede mong i-grow sa'yo, sa area ko. And then, meron naman yung kailangan ng malamig na panahon, napakahirap pang i-grow. So, ay nako, malaki ang tuition fee namin dito bago namin categorize itong mga ito based on our experience. So, let me explain in detail what we mean. So, yung easy growing na mga variety, ito yung tinatawag naming all-season flowers. Recommended varieties are grown year-round, no? Easy to grow, very high seed vigor, ibig sabihin mabilis patubuin ang buto, hindi mahirap tumubo. Majority of them are large-seeded, and majority of them are able to adapt to the changing climate during the growth. Pag sinabi naming adaptability on the changing climate during growth, ito yung halimbawa ay uulan ngayon, 2 days na maulan, tapos biglang aaraw ng mainit, the third day, naku, yung ibang bulaklak patay dyan. So, but itong mga easy growing, they can manage, parang ganon. Wide adaptability in any changes of climate, in any change of weather, and also strong against pests and diseases, hindi masyadong maalaga, hindi masyadong mapeste. And then easy to maintain. Wala masyadong special technique para gumanda ang pamumulaklak. Okay? So yan yung class 1. So yung category 2 natin, ito yung tinatawag namin na kailangan ng higher knowledge. These are, I think, crops that should be grown by experienced growers. Seeds are relatively very tiny, tulad ng petunia. Petunia seeds are finer than a grain of sand. Pinong-pino. So and you need a technical advice on growing with this kasi like what I said, Petunia, we discovered na ano pala siya, day length sensitive. We didn't know, you know. So now we know that we cannot grow it below 10 hours of daylight. So yan ang isang example. Then adaptable to change in climate during growth. So yan ang second ano natin. The next category, yung tinatawag naming needs highest technique. A professional grower ang kailangan dito. Need special technique to get good flower quality. Example, supplemental lighting, meron pang vernalization, yung kailangan mong tulad ng mga gladiola na ng Lysianthus o Istoma, kailangan mo pang i-vernalize in 5 degrees temperature for 3 months bago siya tumubo. Now, ang isa namin pwedeng i-include dito, which I am now, parang nilakasan ko ang loob ko na paramihin, is a new variety of begonia. Begonia na large flower. Ang begonia, kala ng iba, may mga variety ng begonia o species ng begonia, mabilis padamihin. But may specific varieties ng mga begonia na unang-una, they require light to germinate. Hindi mo pwedeng tabunan. So we need to set up a germination chamber for begonia, for example, to control the humidity and the temperature. Yan, kailangan nyo. And of course, you need to have some artificial lighting. Pangalawa is begonia seed takes about 2 months to germinate. Akala namin patay na, 1 buwan, lumipas, kalating buwan, lumipas, wala pang tumutubo. Sabi ko, paano yan? Patay na yata. So in the second month, tama-tama, biglang may konti-konti lumilitaw na tubo. So you see how difficult it is to ano. So ito yung mga varieties na unang-unang hirap-hirap talagang alagaan. So kailangan mo talaga ng experience, saka technical experience on controlling the tawag dito sa germination pa lang, humidity and climate. And then they are what we call anong tawag dito? Kailangan nila ng heat tsaka light para magbulaklak. Light accumulator or energy accumulator sila. Itong halaman na to. So ibig sabihin pag wala masyadong light, hindi sila lalaki, mabagal ang paglaki. Pero pag biglang gumanda ang light, saka yun, ang bilis-bilis nilang lumago at lumaki. So light accumulator ang begonia. So yan ay isang example na pwede namin sabihin sa category nito. So yeah, then you need to follow technical And then cool climate, of course we tried cool climate crops, talagang hindi kaya kahit anong gawin mo. Sinubukan na namin, hindi talaga kaya. So not recommended in our climate. Siguro you really have to go up sa taas. Okay, and then of course the number 5 classification, yun ang sinasabi ko, cool climate na but difficult to grow pa. So yeah, makikita niyo sa chart yung example itong mga sa table. Next slide. Medyo maliit lang, no? But maybe later on you can share this. So this is again based on our personal experience. This classification is under our experience. Maybe the other growers has different experience. Maybe some of the grower would say na itong category 2 namin actually dapat nasa category 1 kasi mabilis lang siya patubuin on their experience. But growing is one thing. Making them flower fully is another. So yun ang difference, no? Kasi tulad ng Torreña, sabi nila, yes, I would definitely agree with people saying Torreña is easy to grow. It's very easy. Unfortunately, if you don't manage the nutrition well, if you over-fertilize, it turns to just parang puro dahon. Wala masyadong bulaklak. If you don't get enough energy and sun with Torreña, you don't get profusion of bloom also. So yun yung mga basically why we put it on category 2, for example. So hindi ko lang kung nababasa kaya nila.
Siguro na po. Pero
Hindi,
pwede naman po i-share po sa page po natin later.
pa-share na lang kasi medyo maliit ang marami kasi yung nilista namin. So para makita rin
Opo.
nila kung ano yung classification.
Sir, yung aster po pala ay need higher experience.
Oh yes. You know,
Aster.
aster requires like chrysanthemum. You need to have artificial lighting. Oo. You need to have artificial lighting for aster as well. It's a short day. That means they will flower. They are what we call, if I'm not mistaken, obligate short day. They flower during short day. So ibig sabihin, pag tinanim mo yung seedling ng let's say November, December, seedling pa lang, maliit pa lang, minsan nagbubulaklak na. If I'm not mistaken. So ang ginagawa nila, ini-extend nila yung light. Okay? Para humaba muna ng humaba yung stem until they get the desired stem length bago nila tatanggalin yung ilaw at bago nila
Common din po siya sa mga bouquets po.
Opo.
Yes. So, but yung mga nag-grow ng aster tsaka chrysanthemum, kabisado na nila kasi may experience na sila doon. For
Opo.
beginners, mahirap pa ng konti for beginners kasi hindi nila alam yung technique. Hindi nga nila alam yung artificial lighting eh. Unang-una, anong oras mo bubuhayin, anong wattage ng LED light ang kailangan mo, anong distansya ng LED light ang kailangan mong gawin para mag-grow. And then, unang-una, pag ginrow mo lahat yon, sabay-sabay mong binuksan yung ilaw, ang lakas ng kuryente. So, yung ibang grower, ang ginagawa nila is naka-timer ang pagbuhay by row. Okay? As long as they meet the minimum day length na required ng halaman to extend the shoot. So, yun ang technique na kailangan nilang maintindihan. And it's a hit and miss if you're a beginner. Doon sa mga experienced grower kasi, alam na nila, pero hindi nila basta-basta sinishare.
Opo.
Diba? So, yun naman ang doon. Hindi nila basta-basta
Sabi niyo po kanina, tuition fee. Kailangan
tuition fee. Oo. Talagang i-experimentuhan nila yan. Okay. So, yan. So, medyo mahaba na yata yung presentation ko. Okay. So, next, very quickly, again, our tips, no? For example, if you want to start with petunia is a very extremely fine seed. So pinong-pino yan. For the information of everyone, it's smaller than as a grain of sand. Next. Okay. So ang payo namin sa petunia, you cannot use coarse media. You have to use very fine media as well. Pili kayo ng pinong-pino na material for germinating it. Next. And then what we normally do, especially if it's not pelletized, we prepare the media in a tray and then water it. And then we make this line, parang trenches. And then on those trenches, we line seed. Nagla-line seeding tayo ng petunia seed. And then you cannot cover it. Hindi mo pwedeng i-cover yan ng
ibaon.
Hindi mo pwedeng ibaon, hindi mo pwedeng i-cover kasi kailangan niya ng light to germinate. Without light, it will not germinate. So, yun ang tricky part. And meaning, kasi kung ganyan yan at mainit ang panahon, baka matuyuan agad yan, di ba? So, you have to be very careful. So, kaya kailangan dyan, regularly, in a day, isprayan nyo para in the next 5 to 7 days before it germinates. So, yun ang tricky part dyan sa petunia seeds. Next. Ang water regime namin, kasi may tinatawag kaming, ano pa nilagay ko dito? Yeah. Moisture, dapat, on the first 5 to 7 days, dapat almost 80 to 90% humidity on top of the seed. So, basa. Pero wag nyo lulururin. Kailangan fine mist lang. Okay? Ang ginagawa ng iba, nilalagyan ng iba ng plastic cover para ma-retain. Parang kulob.
Kulob.
Pero wag pabayaan na mag-init kasi pag nag-init yung kulob, patay ang buto-luto. Parang in-steam. So yun. So moisture for pag lumabas na yung cotyledon, yung dalawang cotyledon, then you're okay na. Pwede nang i-reduce yung moisture content ng mga 70%. So control na ang irrigation namin. Pinapabayaan na namin kahit ano na yung regular watering na, pwede na yan. Sige, next. So, and then pricking. Pag meron ng mga 2 to 3 leaves, if I'm not mistaken, pag may primary roots na, at cotyledon stage, pag palabas na yung first true leaf, saka namin pinaghihiwalay, and then saka namin nilalagay sa paso o sa seedling tray. So, yun ang ano namin. Ang tawag doon is pricking, no? Pinaghihiwalay nyo yung, kasi dahil pino-pino nga, ang hirap naman itanim ng pare-pareho ang distansya eh. So, minsan magkakadikit yung buto. So, pinaghihiwalay namin through pricking. Sige, next. So, ayan. Paglagay mo sa seed plug, so seedling tray, normally we wait for, about, pag meron na siyang mga 7 leaf, pwede na siyang ilipat. Pag may 7 true leaf hindi kasama yung cotyledon. 7 true leaf or yung ganyan nakataas. Pwede na naming ilipat yan sa Normally it takes about 30 days to do that. Sige. On growing naman, healthy petunias, ito yung mga tips namin. Sige. Unang-una, petunia loves the sun. Okay? They require at least 6 hours of sunlight in order for them to bloom profusely. But then again, next slide, petunia hates the rain. So, ang hirap i-balance. So, because they really melt in the rain. So, they like the sunny weather. Walang problema sa mainit na lugar. Walang problema sa Manila, sa Los Baños. But, pag pinabayaan mo matunaw sa, patay agad yan sa ulan. And then next, we water liberally once each morning, as much as 1 liter a day, if possible, for the petunia. Don't worry, they can take it. Hindi malulunod yan. As long as your substrates o yung media mix mo is tama. Baka naman kasi puro lupa na, puro clay ang gamitin na hindi na makahinga, malunod talaga. So as long as tama yung substrate nyo, if it's free draining, you can water at least 1 liter a day is okay. Only in the morning. Okay? And then, next, petunia likes it going dry through the night, no? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Kaya we only water once a day. Sa pahapon na, paggabi, gusto niya natuyo ang kanyang bulaklak at dahon. So, it encourages it actually to flower better. Okay? So, yung alternate wet and drying ng halaman actually helps encourage bloom for the plants. So, seems like it favors petunia very well. Sige. But then again, okay, nag-alternate wet and dry ka, syempre kailangan mo pa rin pakainin yung halaman mo. Hindi po pwede na basta na lang siya, kasi madideplete yung nutrients ng media na ginamit mo eh. So, ang recommendation namin is to feed at least, let's say, yung regular complete foliar fertilizer na mabibili nyo sa market, say 1 gram of foliar fertilizer per liter, maybe every 3 days or every 5 days as a maintenance fertilizer. Pwede na yon. Okay? So, yun ang aming tip. Sige. Next is keep them well trimmed. Natatakot yung ibang tao na putulin yung magagandang bulaklak. We don't mind it. Trim it kasi pag humahaba na, ang petunia kasi pag nagbulaklak na, it tends to stretch very long. So when it stretch very long, wala masyadong maraming mga side shoots na lumalabas o side branches. You want to encourage lateral branching kasi the more branches you get, the more flowers you're gonna get, di ba?
Yes.
So, ganun ang technique sa petunia. We do trimming every 2-3 weeks for our hanging basket to encourage them to form a better bloom. Yan, sige. So yan, sinasabi na, for example, yan, before trimming, may mga bulaklak yan na pink, after trimming, ubos. Diba? So, pag trimming namin ganyan, 3 main stem yan, magiging 6 na main stem ngayon yan. Kasi, hindi, 3 times, tama nga, magiging 6 o mahigit pa sa 6. So, trimming is very important to get a fuller bloom. Sige. Next. Deadheading. Ano yung deadheading? Ito yung pagtanggal ng mga natutuyo na mga bulaklak. Remember, in horticulture, we were taught na plant survival is made by plants by producing flowers and seeds, tama ba? Seeds to continue its species. So, and that's basically what most of the plants are doing. So ngayon, ang problema is if your plants are already producing a lot of seeds and seed pods, ang psychology ko, kung tatawagan natin psychology yan, ng halaman is pamatay na siya, handa na. Okay? So, ang ginagawa namin, tinatanggal natin yung mga seed pod na yan, yung mga patay na mga bulaklak at yung mga dahon, pati yung seed pod tatanggalin to encourage more new leaves to grow. Tinitrick mo yung halaman. It's actually maneuvering, ang tawag natin doon. No? We maneuver the plants to the direction of growth that we want it to grow. Hindi siya nasusunod, kundi tayo as a horticulturist ang nasusunod. Okay? So, yun ang ginagawa namin. Okay? Kung gusto namin siyang magdahon pa na magdahon, we have to do the maintenance. We have to do the deadheading. We have to do the trimming. Pero kung gusto lang namin siyang magbulaklak na pamatay na, ay pababayaan lang namin. But the plants will be short-lived. Yun ang tips na gusto namin i-share. Okay. So yun, napahaba. Sorry. Okay?
Okay lang po, sir.
Sir, sobrang
Yes.
daming
Sobrang dami naman po namin natutunan.
Thank you. Oo. Yeah, so maraming salamat at sana may natutunan ng ating mga viewers.
Ayan, maraming salamat po sa ating first speaker of today's webinar. Sir, may mga ilang questions lang po tayo from our viewers na tungkol sa inyong presentation. From Fritz Hermoso Season, Sir Mike, I'm from Lucban. Yan, from Lucban po siya, sir. I want to know if you sell all the colors of Globe Amaranth seedlings in Bukid Amara.
We have, but not all are available at the moment. We only have a few colors left. They ask them to paki-message na lang kami sa Facebook page namin para we can check whatever is available at the moment.
Yun po. Contact nyo na lang po sa ating mga viewers. Contact nyo na lang po yung Facebook page ng Bukid Amara sa Facebook po. And ayun po.
May isa pa pong question, sir. From Renato Ignacio. Good PM po, Mr. Caballes. Yun po bang local marigold natin ay may similarity sa tinatawag natin na English na calendula?
Okay, ang calendula is what they call, kasi ito ang problema sa English name minsan no? Ang calendula kasi, ang English name ng calendula is pot marigold. So, and then ang marigold is basically a marigold. Ang marigold kasi there are also different types. We have the French marigold and we have the African marigold. So, but they are totally different species. Calendula is actually an edible flower. So, we are actually growing it. We have seeds of it as well, the calendula. But it's different. It's a different crop.
Meron pa ba tayo mga... Ayan, Sir Mike, meron pong question from Paz Kutamora. I'd like to ask which among the flowers you presented is best grown sa super init na lugar, just like here in Jensan, and also does not need plenty of water. So parang kanina po, sir, di ba may degrees kayo po na present. Siguro parang hinahanap ni Sir Paz yung parang easy to grow.
Yes. Ang advice ko lang kay Sir Paz, marami tayong pwede sa init sa Jensan. Unfortunately, lahat sila kailangan ng tubig. Hindi po pwedeng walang tubig. So the only way to successfully grow them is to provide them with their water needs on a daily basis. Hindi po pwedeng walang tubig. Most of the flowers that I've shown you can actually grow in the heat. It can grow in Jensan, walang problema. Yung mga nakita nyo mga photos sa slides, lahat po yan po pwede sa Jensan yan, kahit alin dyan. Kailangan nyo lang ng tamang patubig. Yun po. Pero kung gusto nila, siguro ang gusto niyang tanong is alin yung hindi masyadong maalaga, ay gumprena po. Doon po kayo tumutok sa gumprena.
Yun, gumprena. Yun. Grabe sir, ang dami kong mga flowers na nakilala ngayon lang.
Very
Talagang
good.
pala, kasi tayo yung mga kilala lang natin ng mga flowers, minsan mga imported pa na hindi siya ano. So yun, thank you po sa inyong presentation talaga. May isa pa po tayong question.
Question. Opo. From Renato
Doc.
Ignacio po, question po ni Sir is, bukod sa mil flores, meron po bang ibang flowering plants na indicator ng soil acidity? And thank you daw po sa very informative na topic.
You're welcome, Renato. I'm not familiar of other plant. Oh, okay. Sige, ganito na lang. Kasi when you say pH indicator, they see it sa color ng bulaklak,
Flower.
'di ba?
Opo.
Parang may ranges po.
Yeah, the mil flores is actually hydrangea. So that's basically what you're talking about, indicator, ano? But there are actually bulaklak that is what we call acidifying flowers. Ibig sabihin nun, pag ginrow mo siya, it acidifies the soil very quickly in a way na makikita mo yung what we call nutrient deficiency sa halaman. Two good example in my experience, which is I'm actually growing now. One is Pentas lanceolata, star cluster. Okay? Ang Pentas, for the information of everyone, kasi malamang baka may gusto magtanim ng Pentas, no? It actually acidifies your potting mix, your substrate, through time. So, kailangan mo laging maglagay ng lime. Nobody is telling this to any growers or ano. But in our experience, pag hindi kami naglagay ng lime, sa unang-una, we have to raise the substrate pH to about 6.5 to 6.8, no? Before transplanting. Making sure that it's almost basic na yung media. So, and then on a regular basis, let's say every 2-3 weeks, we have to put in lime to maintain it. Bakit? Ano mangyayari? Pag hindi kami naglagay ng lime, nagkakaroon ng magnesium deficiency. Yung dahon ng Pentas, naninilaw. Sasabihin ng mga tao, bakit lagi madilaw ang Pentas ko? Panay naman ang pataba ko, pataba yung tubig ko. Because it's acidifying the substrate. And the solution is to lime. Secondly, which is I'm growing also now, Pelargonium. I don't think many people knows what Pelargonium is. I should have shown it here. It's another plant that tends to acidify the soil. So yun. At yun din, pareho din ang deficiency, naninilaw din. So we have to lime it. Pag nakakita na kami ng paninilaw, nagla-lime na kami. Alam na namin na acidic na yung lupa. Yan. Sige.
Yan, may iba pa ba tayong question? From Fritz, ano pong klase ng foliar fertilizer ang pwedeng gamitin para mag-flower?
Okay, let me correct the misinformation na nakukuha kasi nila sa plant sa flowering, no. Flower induction through foliar fertilization. It's more of managing your naku, medyo technical to. Sige, papasimplehin ko na lang. Okay, kuha na lang kayo ng higher potassium or higher P na phosphorus na foliar. Ganun na lang. But it does not promise to induce the flower production. Flower production is it's a combination of management technique at saka yung health ng halaman. Okay, but if you get more potassium, it helps. It may help. Higher K nutrition formula or higher P, higher phosphorus fertilizer.
So isa lang po talaga sa factors yung fertilizer para
yes.
mag-flower.
Oo. Irrigation is another factor.
Irrigation.
Oo. If you mismanage the irrigation, no matter how much of that foliar you put, hindi rin mabulaklak yan. Yan. So yung ganon. And then of course the lighting and the day and night temperature difference, maraming factor eh. Day and night is also very crucial. So yun. Yeah.
Ayun
Ayan.
po, may isa pa pong question. So, alin po kayang flower ang pwedeng itanim sa type 1 na weather tulad na nasa Western Pangasinan? At sa tuyong-tuyo ang mga, kung saan tuyong-tuyo ang mga bundok?
Type 1 is, if I'm not mistaken, distinct wet and dry climate. Normally very dry during the months of November to May, if I'm not mistaken. If ang ano ko lang sa kanila is the key is again irrigation and nutrition. Ano? In fact, in my opinion, I would rather be at that kind of weather compared to the weather I am at when it comes to annual flower production. In fact, nadidepress ako sa weather ko dahil ang problema ko, I don't have enough sun. You know, type 1, Western Pangasinan has plenty of sun. You know, I know because I used to live in the eastern side of Pangasinan, in Tayug, Pangasinan, for many years. I've been going around there for many, many years. I know the climate very well. It's the right climate to plant annual flowers. Kaya po yan as long as itong mga tinatanim ko to give you an information, lahat ng pinakita kong bulaklak sa inyo would bloom better in Pangasinan, in Western Pangasinan climate compared to Lukban, Quezon. But you just have to manage the irrigation very well. Ano? So, pwedeng-pwede po yan. They will have a more intense bloom, especially on the month of November to February. Yun ang advice ko. Kasi those are cooler months eh. Siyempre, pag mainit na, again, water management will become very difficult para sa mga taga-Pangasinan.
Yan. So, kay Sir Ari po, yan po, madali po kayo makakapag-grow kung nasa Pangasinan po kayo. Meron pa ba tayo ibang questions?
Last na question na daw po iyon. So, ayun,
Okay.
sir, we would like to thank you po, sir, for taking the time, sir, to share your knowledge and insights, sir. Ang dami-dami po naming natutunan and napakalawak po ng, parang lumawak yung pag-understand, pag-intindi namin sa annual flowering plants. And I hope na na-inspire din yung ibang mga viewers natin to start planting their own and also like support our yung mga growers na ating mga annual plants, sir. Thank you po, sir.
Thank you, Remy.
Yan, I agree. Tumaas din appreciation ko sa mga flowering plants na sobrang dami pa lang na hindi natin na masyadong alam or tayo masyadong aware na ito pala, madami pala tong colors na available, and then ayun, so sobrang talagang helpful po yung discussion natin ngayon. So sa mga viewers po natin, kung search nyo lang po yung Bukid Amara. Kung gusto nyo po na makita pa po yung mga flowers or yung photos of flowers po na ginogrow nila, sir, yun po, search nyo lang po yung Bukid Amara.
And I hope, sir, after this pandemic, baka pwede kami makavisit dyan sa inyo, sir, sa Bukid Amara to see.
Opo, sir.
Opo.
Definitely. You know, we're open naman to everyone. After this pandemic siguro, pag medyo okay na, we will announce our reopening. Nagpaplano naman kami.
Opo. Thank you very much po, sir.
Thank you, Dominic and all.
So
yan, Dom, no? Grabe, first speaker pa lang yun, so ang dami na nating nalaman about annual flowering plants, diba? Na sobrang informative nung naging discussion ni Sir Mike Caballes. So hindi na natin patatagalin pa. Sa mga viewers pala, i-download nyo na agad yung Kahoot app dahil mamaya after ng second speaker natin, meron pa tayong game yan. Makikita nyo sa screen natin. I-download nyo na yung Kahoot sa App Store or Google Play para makasali kayo sa game natin mamaya. Or pwede nyo rin i-type sa website ninyo, sa browser ninyo yung Kahoot. Ayan, so without further ado, I will introduce our second speaker for today's webinar. He is a BS Agricultural graduate, major in horticulture, specializing in crop production and management at the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. He is the founder and director of Jeremiah House Learning Center, an independent living skills training center for special needs persons 13 years old and above. Managing partner of Jardín de Mirasol, owner of Passion Heart Farms, producer and trader of vegetable crops, a super dad, and of course, a proud alumnus of UP HortSoc. Let us give a warm welcome to Mr. Rafi Quintana.
Hi,
Hello po,
magandang
sir.
good afternoon to everybody. Hello, Dominic and Roland. Sa
Hello
Facebook ko
po,
lang kayo
sir.
nakikita. Ngayon ko lang kayo nakakasama ng live.
Yes, sir.
It's so nice to be here. So nice to be part of this very wonderful initiative, which the current Execom, I believe, of the Alumni Association initiated. Hats off to everybody for doing this. And I'm so honored to be nakakapanliit kasi napakagaling ng unang speaker natin. I learned a lot also.
No, sir,
Yes.
equally magaling po kayo rin.
Opo. Opo.
Kamusta naman kayo, sir, this week? Kamusta naman po yung
Opo.
pag-cope sa pandemic?
Okay naman. We have adjusted uh, kasi dahil nga nag-pandemic, so we shifted to vegetable production para yun makasurvive. So yun ang inaano namin. Growing and trading yung mga vegetable crops. Right now, to tell you honestly, we're not producing. My topic specifically pala will be on sunflower production. But right now, hindi po kami nagpo-produce ng sunflowers kasi nga wala halos demand. Mas malaki ang demand sa basic crops in food commodities. So doon kami nag-concentrate sa vegetables na yun. So nice to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
So, and sir, bibigay na namin sa inyo yung floor para sa inyong present yung inyong sunflower production.
Okay, sure. Okay. Magandang hapon po ulit sa lahat ng mga kapuso at kapamilya. So we'll be talking in depth about the production, propagation of sunflowers. Bakit ba napapunta sa sunflowers yung aking medyo ano po to eh. This was born out of yung business ko talaga or yung aking calling, which is the SPED Center, Jeremiah House Learning Center. This is a training center for special needs children na mga teen to adults. We have an occupational skills training program doon and requirement nila yung job internship. So they've been doing job internship in some partner business establishments. Pero very few ang takers na kunin sila as part-time or full-time employees. So we thought of why not come up with our own venture para doon na sila ma-employ. So thus was born Jardin de Mirasol. So it was really born out of a need to fulfill yung requirement requirement ng mga special needs persons. So on the first year of Jardin de Mirasol, we have associates, I call them, ng mga PWDs. Yung aming farm supervisor is half paralyzed. We have hearing impaired na staff din and merong may learning difficulties. And then of course yung aming mga special needs learners sa Jeremiah House. So ang ating pag-uusapan basically will be touching on the morphology or the structure of etong mga sunflowers na to. Sino bang hindi nagkakagusto sa sunflowers? I think halos lahat naman attracted sa sunflowers aside from the bee.
Naging symbol din siya, sir, ng ng graduation sa UP.
Yes, lalo na sa UP. Oo, kasi laging tina-timing yung pag-bloom niya sa graduation. Unfortunately,
indication na graduation season kapag may mga sunflower.
Yes. So we'll be touching on the morphology, the basic structure, and how do we produce this and how do we manage it? Paano ba natin palakihin? How do we care for them? And ano ba yung mga varieties ng mga sunflowers? Kasi meron pang iba. Kanina na-touch ni Brad Mike yung ating mga sunflower. So meron doon mga ano, we'll talk on that in depth. And then lastly, how do we earn from sunflowers? Do we sell it or do we keep it? Pwede naman. So let's go to the first discussion. Ang scientific name, next slide please. Ang scientific name ng sunflower is Helianthus anuus. Yung nakikita nyo sa Tagaytay, yung common na tumutubo sa tabi ng daan, that's another kind of sunflower. Helianthus tuberosus. This is in English, it's called Jerusalem sunflower. Sort of wild. Yung ating pinopropagate, it's the Helianthus anuus, which is a member of the Compositae family. If you may look, I have your facsimile. Plastic lang to. So, if you will look at the sunflower, this is composed of, yung gitna niya is actually the flower. Ito, ang kanyang petals. Yung gitna niyan is composed of 2,000 tiny flowers called disc florets. And then meron din siyang ray florets. Yung disc florets are male and the ray florets are female. So, yung gitna, yung pala yung gitna, yung disc florets, and then nasa labas yung surrounding this is the ray florets. And then you have the petal. Male and female in one flower. So, hermaphroditic siya. It's arranged in such a perfect algebraic pattern. Don't ask me about algebra, kaya nga tayo nag-agriculture. Sino ba may love ng math dito? Okay. What's so distinct about the sunflower? Meron siyang heliotropic ability, sun. So paano pag gabi? Pagdating ng gabi, the sunflower head would always face east, awaiting sunrise. So habang tumatas yung sumusunod din yung if you will see in my first slide dun sa intro you go back to the first yung intro page with the sunflower blooms. Anyway, so yung first andun sa Jardin de Mirasol, kita-kita doon yung arrangement ng mga flower heads. Meron nakataas kasi I think this was noon time when I took this picture. Okay. So a sunflower contains both male and female reproductive organs. However, it can self-pollinate. Yung mga vector pollinators natin, ito yung mga bees and butterflies. So, kung wala nun, which is very seldom naman, magse-self-pollinate. Let's go to the next slide. Next, please. Yan. Yan po yung basic structure ng sunflower. Kung makikita nyo dito, yung nakikita nyo yung yellow, yun yung actually yung flowers niya. Ito yung petals, this is used by the sunflower to attract the bees para papasok sila doon. Yung disc florets at the male stage, ayan, andito. And yung unopened disc florets, yung mas hard, yung parang seeds na yon. Ayan. And then yung ray florets, yung petals. Unopened disc florets sa tabi. Okay? So, yun yung basic structure niya. So, katulad ng ano pa ba yung mga flowering plants natin na may mga, we call it yung mga, like yung anthurium. Yung anthurium, yung gitna nun, di ba? Yun yung flower niya eh. Hindi actually yung modified, yung colored na leaf niya, yun yung modified leaf, modified flower. Di ba? Yung gitna, yung matigas na nasa gitna, yun ang actually yung doon ng flowers niya. So, ganun din sa sunflower. It's composed of 2,000 tiny flowers. Yung gitna. Okay? Next slide. So, let's go to the production and management of sunflowers. This is one, kanina may tanong kay kasamang Mike Caballes are semi-arid plants, meaning they are drought tolerant. So, kaya nila yung mga areas na mainit, sobrang init. But of course, tama si Mike, kailangan pa rin i-manage properly yung irrigation. In the Philippines, unlike in European countries, this grows year-round, but it is, of course, best to start planting around January or before the onset of summer. However, may demand ang sunflower at sa cut flower pag November, pag mga All Saints Day. December, meron din. New Year's, o mga kasal-kasal, madami nagpapakasal ng December. Mother's Day, pag May. So, kailangan. So, dito sa atin, sa Pilipinas, kaya natin yan i-fulfill yung ganong mga dates na may special occasions. Ano bang soil requirement? Dahil nga semi-arid crop siya, kailangan sandy loam. Hindi yung clayey. Kasi pag clay loam, water retentive masyado yung lupa. And pag pag water retentive, dyan nag-i-invite na mas madaming peste at saka mga diseases. So ayaw natin yon. Ayaw natin yung sobrang basa. Nagkakaroon ng mga problema yung sunflower. Okay, next slide. Ano po ba ang planting distance natin? So, for cut flower production, we recommend 6 inches by 6 inches or pwede ring 1 foot by 1 foot. However, for seed oil or snack seed production, for cut flower, iba yung variety na ginagamit natin. Usually, ito yon yung pioneer nila Mike Caballes sa Pangasinan sa farm ng before he went to Bukidabara when he was still with Allied Botanical, yung deep orange DMR sunflower, Vincent's Choice. Ito yon. For oil seed production and snack seed production, we recommend yung 3 feet by 2, 2 by 3. Ano po bang ibig sabihin nun? Let me just show you very briefly. Kung ito yung ating kita ba?
Opo.
Yes po.
Yan. Kung ito yung ating crop, yan, yung mga bilog na yan, 6 inches by 6 inches. Yung mas closer yung planting density para mas attractive siya. It encourages yung mas maganda siya tingnan. Kaya yung exactly yung ginawa nila Mike Caballes sa Pangasinan at saka doon sa farm sa Bukid Amara para mas may effect, mas may maganda ang mas in production. In production, we use a different varieties. These are the tall seed producing varieties. These sunflower varieties can grow as much as 9 to 10 feet tall, and you don't want them growing too close to each other. Kasi you want as much as possible to encourage very big flowering heads para mas madami siyang seeds na mapuproduce. So ang planting distance doon, 2 feet by 3 feet. So mas maluwag yung niya, yung planting distance niya. Okay. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. Makita natin Pwede nating, from our experience at Jardin de Marasol, on the first cropping year, we tried one row to direct seed. Nag-direct seed kami dun sa unang row. But one problem is, nakita ko, mukhang mahilig din sa sunflower seeds yung mga langgam. Pagkatanim mo pa lang, nakikita mo gumagapang nilang yung buto. Yung pala,
Okay.
dala-dala na ng mga langgam. So, mas maganda kung i-germinate natin sila sa seedling trays. So, yung nasa picture nyo, ito yan. I-germinate sa seedling tray. These are ready to be transplanted.
Ayan.
Para mas madali mo ma-identify yung ano, kailangan mo ng tag. So, lalagyan mo nung kung anong date mo tinanim, anong halaman yon, at saka anong variety. These are Autumn Beauty. Got this from the US. So, lalagay mo yun doon. Then, you count 7 to 10 days, lalabas na yung, ano, yung seeds niya, ay, yung seedlings niya.
Ay, sir, pwede kong
Okay?
magtanong po, ano po pala yung medium po na ginagamit niyo po sa pag-germinate po ng seeds po?
Huh? Ah, yung medium.
Ano po yung,
Yeah, oo nga. Sorry, I forgot. Can you repeat the question, please?
ano po yung ginagamit niyo po na medium po sa pag-germinate po ng sunflower seed?
Parang nakikita ko, parang may
Ito ay
rice hull.
may rice hull, yung garden soil mix, meron tong carbonized rice hull, meron yung mga yung rice bran mismo. Pwede rin yung cocoa peat, pwede rin yun. Mas maganda yun, mas loose para mas madaling lumabas yung ano. One of the tricks that we do para mas mapabilis yung germination, paglagay sa seedling tray, tinatakpan namin ng newspaper yung taas. Tapos doon kami nagdidilig. Kasi nga dahil sun-loving yung sunflower, pag mag-ano siya, mas mabilis siyang lalabas, mas mabilis siyang mag-sprout. Pag nakita na namin in less than 7 days, lumalabas na yung ano, tatanggalin namin para mas mabilis na siyang tumaas. Tatanggalin namin yung newspaper para mas mabilis na tumaas. Anyway, ide-demo natin mamaya yan how to re-germinate. Okay. So, pakita natin, no, kung paano tayo let me just demo it for a short while. Okay lang ba? Mag-demo tayo ng ano?
Sure po, sir.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, ito yung ating soil mix, garden mix.
Ayan.
Ang gagamitin ko, egg trays. By the way, I'm doing just like Mike, I'm doing plastic-free farming already. Tinanggal ko na yung plastic mulch sa farm. I'm using mga dried leaves for mulching, rice straw, ganun, para eco-friendly. Okay. So maglalagay tayo ng, using our egg tray, egg carton, lalagay tayo ng soil. Nakikita ba? Ayan.
Yes po.
So just feel it's, I will not feel everything, just for the purposes of, okay.
So, sir,
I'll
parang
be using this
affordable
variety.
na yung materials na po.
Yes, oo. Kasi ito, actually, nakukuha ko to for free yung egg tray. Kasi one of the big fast food restaurants dito sa Los Baños, nakipag-tie up sa amin for their outreach program. And they have a lot of egg trays.
Okay.
So, binibigay nila to sa amin, libre.
So sa mga viewers po natin, we can be resourceful and creative sa mga
Yes.
gagamitin natin na
Tie up kayo para meron kayong mga yung rice straw, we get that from, I have a friend from Erie. So, ang dami nilang, siyempre, rice research sila. So, ang dami nilang rice straw. Nakuha ko rin na libre yun. Siyempre,
lang po yun, sir.
punch holes about half an inch deep. And then yung tip nung nung seed, yun dapat nasa baba. Para paglabas ng kutili doon, yung mismo.
Maganda.
Diretso siya. So we're planting this. Hindi ko na mapakita yung itanim ko na the other day itong variety na to eh. Yung dating dala nila Mike. Ito yung mas kilalang cut flower variety. Okay, and then you just cover it. Then I use a hand spray. To water. Bakit po egg tray ang ginagamit ko? Degradable, tear it off. Then itanim mo na siya doon diretso sa field. Kasi pag basang-basa na siya, madali na nagdi-degrade na yung egg carton, yung egg tray. Yeah. So I think most of our viewers naman are mga plantitos and plantitas. Mostly would be hobbyist. Am I correct? Siguro ganun lang natin. Now, kung ito ay itatanim nyo sa bahay, of course it requires yung area which receives full sunlight. Kung magtatanim kayo sa area na hindi ganun ka tingkad ang araw, ang mangyayari lang, katulad nga nung sabi ni Mike, vegetative growth lang. Dahon lang yan. Oo. Tapos, liliko yung stem niya. Kung gahanap siya, naturally, maghahanap siya ng light source ng energy source. So, mahirap yung gano'n. Hindi maganda. Lalo na kung cut flower production ng mo. At saka kung gusto mo, aesthetic look lang sa iyong garden, hindi maganda kung ligo-ligo yung iyong mga halaman. Okay, so that's one, And then, of course, ilalagay mo yung iyong tag. 7 to 10 days, lalabas yan even before 7 days. Sprout na yan. Then you transplant after that. You can put, to help it grow, you can mix this Alga 21. Pasensya na, shameless plugging. This is another product produced by one of our brads in HortSoc. Not actually produced. They are the importer and distributor. Kami dito sa Luzon, kami nila Brad Renato Ignacio ang authorized distributor, nila Ray D. Vinagracia, another HortSoc brad of ours. So this promotes root growth and plant health. This is seaweed-based, Alga 21. Available po yan sa amin. That's na, shameless plugging.
Contact na lang po si Sir Rafi kung gusto niyo bumili ng Alga 21.
Yeah. I'll be showing, nasa end of my presentation yung number ko.
Okay pa.
Okay. Okay, let's proceed. Next slide, please. Okay. So after 10 days, magta-transplant na tayo. Okay. Of course, as always in any crop, the best time to transplant is early morning or late afternoon. Bakit po? Kasi para hindi mataas yung transplanting shock. Diba? Pag sinasabi natin transplanting shock, usually this is brought about by too much energy, too much heat. Pag umaga, syempre, mas maganda yung condition, early morning. So, but sa amin, sa farm, we do our transplanting in the late afternoon. Kasi mas mataas ang moisture sa gabi. So, mas maganda yung pagka transplant mo, dilig ka, and then nature will do the rest sa gabi. Okay? Next slide. Okay. Next slide natin. Of course, watering. After transplanting, you water. Mas maganda kung sa baba kung naka plastic mulch kayo, we recommend that you water directly on the hole, directly dun sa hole ng mulch nyo para sa mas direct, mas nakukuha ng halaman yung nutrients. Hindi ka nagsasayang pati ng tubig masyado. Of course, na-protect din yung masyado fragile pa yung halaman natin pag sa taas ka magano. Next slide. Ayan, ayan. Yung ating promote natin yung mga organic fertilizers natin. We should apply kung re-apply mo after 5 days. From sowing to harvest, ilang araw bang inaabot? Ang sunflower po isa sa mga pinakamabilis tumubo. It takes 45 days from sowing to harvest. Lalo na kung cut flower, 45 days lang to. So that's approximately a month and a half. Ngayon, if you want to have a bloom year-round, pagka tanim mo nung unang row mo, after 2 weeks, tanim ko ulit. Then after 2 weeks, next So the whole year, meron kang blooms. Hindi ka mauubusan ng blooms. So, may enjoy mo yung sunflower 365 days a year. Of course, hindi tinotolerate masyado ng sunflower during heavy monsoon season. Kasi sobrang tubig. Andiyan na rin pumapasok yung mga sakit. Okay, next slide. How do we manage? We do de-leafing. If you notice in the picture, yung baba nung stalk, wala masyadong dahon. Yun yung tawag na de-leafing. You remove about 5 to 7 leaves from the base of the stalk. Pwedeng 15 to 20 days after planting para to encourage more flowering, budding, hindi puros vegetative. Kasi pag puros dahon lang, naagawan ng nutrients yung pagde-develop na buds eh. So sayang. Okay? And then also another management practice that we do is debudding. I've seen recently there was a row of sunflowers planted dun sa Department of Agricultural Education dito sa UPLB. And of course, hindi naman yun commercially pinapatubo. So, ang daming bulaklak in one stem. If you are growing yung for-cut flower, pag madaming bulaklak, ang daming kaagaw, katulad nito, ang daming kaagaw nung main flower head mo sa nutrients. So, we don't want that. Kailangan, at an early stage, lalo na itong mga DMR variety, tumutubo kagad yung mga buds niyan sa baba. We pitch that. Tinatanggal namin yon para isang flower head lang ang tutubo. Para yun lang ang makakakuha ng nutrients. So, masakit man gawin, pero kailangan natin gawin. Kasi gusto natin, isang flower head lang. Okay? Walang kaagaw sa nutrients. And you continue to do that 25 to 30 days after planting. Okay? Next slide. course, watering is very important. You do this depende sa area mo, once or twice a day, preferably early morning or late afternoon. Never in midday kasi lalo mong parurusahan yung halaman. Fertilization, use organic fertilizers as much as possible. I'm into organic farming. 15 days, 15 to 30 days. 15 days after planting, and then another is 30 days after planting. Or you can use slow release fertilizers. Pero yung mga slow release fertilizers kasi, it takes, ang action nila, ang release time is up to 3 months eh. Ang sunflowers, 45 days lang. So, sayang yung slow release fertilizer mo. You can use yung another product ng NutriProtect, yung company nila Ray Divina Gracia. Ito. And you can use this plant nurse yan, para mako-combat niya yung stress and also promote, it's a biostimulant actually, promote yung plant growth. Okay. Seaweed based ulit yan, seaweed extract. Of course, kailangan maganda yung ating undergrowth. You should apply mulch for weed control or for moisture retention. Kagaya ng sabi ko sa inyo, ang mulch during yung unang nakita yung picture kanina doon sa deleafing slide. Naka-plastic mulch pa ako on the first cropping season. And then I removed that on the second. Pinalitan ko ng Molave leaves. I get a lot of Molave during season ng Molave. Ano yun, di ba? Nahuhulog yung mga dahon.
Opo, naglalagas po.
Oo, naglalagas siya kasi nag-fruiting na siya. So nakakakuha ko ng libre. Umikot ka lang sa UPLB, sako-sako ni makukuha mo. And I found out, yung leaves ng Molave, they are, it does not encourage yung mga other flora and fauna. So ayaw siya bahayan ng mga ibang lalo ni mga pumipeste. So mas maganda siya. So nako-control niya yung wala kang masyadong insect. At the same time, it's providing you with good mulching. Naging one of the problems I encountered with plastic mulch when I was still using it. Dahil nga malamig yung loob, gustong-gusto rin ng mga ahas. Bumabahay din sila sa loob ng ilalim ng plastic mulch. When we were trying to pagkatapos kasi mag-harvest, i-uproot mo yung buong stalk ng sunflower eh. Nakita namin yung plastic mulch may mga gumagalaw. Pala may ahas na sa loob. So it's nakakatakot din. It's not safe for our stuff. Okay, another mulch that you can use is rice straw. Makakakuha ka rin ng libre niyan sa mga rice farmers. Meron iba nagbebenta niyan, pero very minimal lang yan. But if you can get it for free, go get it for free. Doon sa Erie, ang daming makukuha. Okay? Now, ano ba yung mga pumepeste? Most common pests of sunflowers. Based on our experience, we have the sunflower moth. This is grayish in color. During the first cropping season, we were planting the giant varieties. These are the seeded varieties. And the farm was neighbored by 2 corn farms. So nasa gitna kami ng dalawang cornfields. And both farms are, of course, they do not practice organic farming kasi ang kanilang they grow the corn as a forage crop to supply dun sa isang dairy farm na malapit din dun sa amin. So I found out Hindi kami nag-insecticide. Sila pag nag-spray, alisan yung mga insekto sa kanila. Puntahan sa amin. Kasi kami hindi nag-spray. So, ang hirap nung ganon. So, the sunflower moth is one of the pests that uh, invades sunflowers, especially the flower heads. Yung larvae nito, greenish yellow with brown stripes. Kinakain niya yung ano, similar to the action of the corn borer. Kinakain yung kernels. Ganon din dun sa ano. Makikita mo na lang, may webbing na dun sa flower head. Inatake na noon. Sira-sira na yung flower head. Yung mga seeds, wala na masyado. Yung kanyang larvae, ganyan. Next slide. Paano ba natin ito makokontrol? Kung konti pa lang, you can do manual removal. Or, kaya nga sabi ni Mike, we do companion planting of
Buffer.
buffer planting,
Mhm.
marigolds, lantana,
Marigold.
red. Kasi ayon nung ano, buffer lang, not under the rows of sunflowers itself. Kasi we want to encourage yung mga bees naman pupunta sa sunflower. Itong marigolds, ito yung dried leaves niya, dried seeds, kunin mo lang, harvest mo, tanim ulit. Lagay mo lang doon sa buffer zone mo. We also use lemongrass. Lemongrass is also, dinidiscourage din niya yung ibang mga, as much as possible, um, mayroon tayong IPM, very simple IPM. You can also use yung neem spray. Neem is almost wonderful spray. But you have to be sure na yung neem spray mo, it has the active ingredient of azidiractin, which is from the seed itself. Kung ang neem spray mo ay galing lang sa leaves, ano lang yon, parang surfactant lang yon, hindi siya masyadong effective. It has to contain the seeds. Yung extract from the seeds dapat yun naandun sa ano. So you have to look at the label kung meron nung active ingredient ng azidiractin. Let me see here. Azadiractin, which is present in the leaves ng seeds ng neem. Okay? Another pest, sunflower beetle. Yan. Ang ganda tingnan, di ba? Parang yung ating ladybugs lang. Pero these are very destructive also.
Destructive pala siya.
Yes, very yan. It can cause massive defoliation. So again, ang ating pang-control doon, natural control natin is yung mga buffer plants natin, marigolds and lemongrass. And of course, neem spray. Next, major diseases. Yan. Dalawa yung pinaka-common sa amin. The downy mildew, which is common. This is one of the destructive diseases ng mga plants, not just sunflowers. Downy mildew, ano ba itsura niyan? It's a cottony fungus found on the underside ng mga dahon. The plants become dwarf, nagkakaroon ng discoloration. At the worst stage, may blackening and swelling ng base ng stem. This is because of too much water. Pre and post watering na sobra-sobra. Yan, nagpro-promote ng growth ng downy mildew. So, dapat talaga maganda yung irrigation regime mo, watering regime. So, you have to be very careful with your watering. Of course, hindi pwedeng itanim ang sunflower sa mga waterlogged areas. Meaning yung nag-iipon ng tubig, hindi pwede doon. How do we control yung downy mildew? Yan. Pwede kang, kung merong resistant hybrids, pwede yon. Crop rotation, fungicide treatment, seed treatment, or control yung host weeds. Tool sanitation. What we do, this is one common also that we do. Tool sanitation just like now during the pandemic. Nagmamasks tayo. Nag-PPE. Ngayon tayo, dun sa farm, kailangan din malinis din yung mga gamit. So after using, make sure na nililinis yung tools. And then also, then after tanggalin yung mga dirt, pat it dry, dinidip sa oil can para ma-retain yung nare-retain pa rin yung uh, hindi masyadong kakalawangin. Didip mo sa oil can and then pat it dry again. Then store it in a good place. Hindi yung naiiwan ulit sa field. Hindi ganun din. Kakalawangin din yan. Okay? Of course, avoid overwatering. Do not plant in waterlogged areas para hindi ka bibisitahin ng downy mildew. Ano ba yung mga companion plants na pwede sa mga kita ba yung slide? Ayan. Ang hindi lang po pwede talaga ay potatoes. Somehow yung leaves, stem at saka yung flower mismo is toxic to potatoes. But other plants pwede po. Yan. Yung mga vegetables, squash, onions, peppers, peas, beans, mga lettuce, yung mga cucurbits, other cucurbits, yan. Crucifers, yung pwede yun. Mga other flowers, geraniums, snapdragons, mga wildflowers, yung mga pinopropagate nila Mike sa Bukid Amara, yan. Gandang companion. Then we have herbs like garlic, basil, chives, and rosemary. Pwede po yan. Kasama sa ano. Of course, it's not, pwede siya sa border. So, ibang area or malapit doon sa sunflower. But kung ikaw ay nasa commercial production, you wouldn't want your companion plants to be occupying the next row. Pwede siguro yung separate area. Kasi hindi siya toxic hindi toxic yung sunflower para dun sa companion plants mo. Okay, next. Another is rust. Yan. Common din yan. Ang dami ko naging problema dun sa farm. Ito parang kumbaga sa tao, bungang araw. At the severest stage nito, lumiliit yung flower head, liliit yung seed size. Apektado, of course, yung oil content at saka yung yield, yung harvest mo. So, hindi maganda. Ganun. At the earliest stage, pag may nakita ka ng ganun, tanggalin mo na yung mga plants na apektado. Pati yung mga downy mildew. Pag makikita mo naman yun sa dun sa mga rows mo, sa mga hills mo. Tanggalin mo naman. Kahit na may bulaklak pa yan, pag apektado na, sorry na lang kasi talagang maahawaan niya yung iba nakakahawa. Of course, again, you have to maintain clean undergrowth. Isang pwede natin gawin, yung mani-manian, pang control ng weeds yun. Yung parang ornamental peanuts, yung may yellow na maliit na bulaklak, yun. Tinatanim din yun sa ilalim, pang control ng weeds. Kasi pag dumami yun, hindi na masyadong papasukin ng weeds yung ilalim. Okay, next slide. And of course, yung watering regime mo, dapat early morning, doon lang sa base ng basal application, basal watering, early morning magbibigyan ng oras para mag-dry out yung halaman during the rest of the day. Kung meron ng rust-resistant varieties, yun din, pwedeng itanim yun. Okay? Next. Now, ano ba yung mga varieties? Kanina nakita nyo dun kay Mike, may mga iba't ibang kulay ng sunflowers.
Yes po.
We planted several varieties. During the first cropping season, most of our varieties came from the US. On the second cropping season, ito yung tinanim namin. Kasi we want to penetrate the cut flower industry. So this is the Vincent's Choice Deep Orange DMR. I think common yan. Kita nyo dun sa picture, nakatingala yung ano, kasi this picture was taken noon time. Nahabol niya yung araw. Nakatingala siya. So that's one variety, Vincent's Choice DMR. Next is we have the tall ones, the giant ones, Mammoth Russian. For comparison, juvenile stage pa yung ano yan eh. That's my daughter, youngest child. Nasa lampas 5 feet na yung ano eh. But the tallest that we grew, the tallest that we grew, the Mammoth Russian, was around 9 feet. This can grow to as tall as 10 to 12 feet. Ganun kalalaki. And they produce a lot of seeds. Yan yung isa sa mga seed producing varieties, which is this is are propagated for oil production and for snack seeds. Bakit po natin ba sinasabing oil production? Kasi sa Europe, unlike here in the Philippines, in Europe you will see hectares and hectares of sunflower fields. It's almost treated like an agronomical crop. The number one sunflower producing country in the world is Ukraine, followed by Russia. Ukraine produces around 13.6 metric tons. It produces 13.6 metric tons of sunflowers per year. It is cultivated, those sunflowers, this kind of variety is cultivated for the oil, which is found in the seeds. Ine-extract nila yun from the seeds. Dito sa Asia, ang isang malaking producer na ngayon, overtake na naman tayo, is Vietnam. Sa kanila, bara-barangay kung mag-cultivate ng sunflowers kasi they are well supported by the Ministry of Agriculture. At yung government mismo ang bumibili ng kanilang harvest. So walang problema yung mga barangay mag-produce ng sunflowers kasi they are assured of a buyer. Okay, so this Mammoth Russian is one of the tallest and one of the best crop for oil production ng sunflowers. Next, please. Yan. We also planted Italian white. Ito yung puti. Sabi nga ni Mike, wala nga talagang market yan. Kasi it's almost like para ka lang nagtanim ng daisy. Wala siyang market. But for novelty's sake, yan. Nagano kami ng mga ganitong varieties. Italian white. Next slide. Ito, one of the smallest varieties. Teddy bear dwarf. This grows to about a foot high. Very distinct yung ano niya, yung gitna, yung disc florets.
Sir, parang
wala ka na makikita. Di ba? Para siyang lahat flower lahat. So naandun yung ano niya, nasa gitna yung seeds niya, pero hindi makita kasi it's so compact. It's very cute. One of our meron ding dwarf variety yung DMR. Meron ding ganun. So, yung dwarf variety ng DMR, itim yung gito niya pero maliit yung halaman. Almost the same height as the teddy bear dwarf. Next slide. Ito yung paborito ko, the lemon queen. Ganda ng kulay niya. It's very tranquil, very serene.
Yes
Yan.
po, iba yung shade niya ng pagka
Opo.
yellow.
Ayun, kita
Yellow.
mo dun sa sa seed head niya, kita mo yung disc florets. Yung flowers mismo, yellow, yellow. Nasa gitna, yellow. Yun yung mismong flower niya. That's the lemon queen. Next slide. Yan. Pinakamaganda dito. Yan. Pinakamagandang sunflower dyan, yung misis ko. Ah, hindi, yung, this is the sun samba. The sun samba sunflower. Uh, these are names which are common in the US. Pero dito sa ibang countries, iba yung mga ano nila. Of course, different countries have different names for different cultivars. So the sun samba. Yan. And then, yan. Ito, tanim din namin nun. Crimson Queen.
Ayan
This
yung
is,
parang
red siya. Sabi nga doon, nung nakita daw ng mga farm visitors ni Mike, ba't ganun? Patay na ata yung sunflower nyo. But that's the actual color of the sunflower. Very distinct siya. Red siya, pero yung disc florets niya, yellow. So maganda. The next variety, Chianti. Yan. It's almost like the Crimson Queen, pero ang disc florets niya, black, darker. So, it's the same, yung ray florets niya, yung petals niya, pareho silang red, pero yung disc florets, magkaiba ang kulay. Itong Chianti, I think this was grown by another brother of ours, si Zalti Arbitrario, doon sa farm niya sa Lukban din. Oo. Binaro ko lang yung picture na yan. Okay. Ano bang uses ng sunflowers yan? Just yung pioneer nila Mike sa Pangasinan, agritourism. Featured doon yung kanilang sunflower maize. And dito in the Philippines, this is widely cultivated as a cut flower. We do not produce sunflowers for oilseed or for snack seeds. Kasi sunflowers is an economies of scale plant. We need hectares and hectares to produce enough oil, to extract the oil. Let's say in 1/8 of a hectare, siguro saka ka pala yung mga harvest mong oil, seeds, saka ka pala makakaproduce ng 1 litro or even 500 ml. So you need a lot of land to be able to produce sunflower oil. So it's not advisable para sa atin. But mostly, talagang dito, since it's a bagong phenomenon, shall we call it, ang sunflowers dito, cut flower talaga and agritourism ang pinaka main focus ng sunflower production natin dito. Snack foods also, yung sunflower seeds, this is ang variety na pwede dyan, yung super snack hybrid at saka yung mammoth Russian. And then also for bird seed, yan, nakikita niyo sa mga agri-supply store, bird seeds, yung hulls niya, nagamit siya sa ano. And surprisingly, yung stalk niya, stem, is used in other countries, lalo na sa India, as a silage or forage crop for ruminants, yung mga cows, mga yung mga ruminants, mga cows, yung mga kinakain nila yon, hina-harvest nila yon kasi mataas ang fiber content nun nung stock lalo na. Next. I hope natututo naman yung ano natin, mga audience natin. Kailan po tayo pwedeng mag-harvest, lalo na as a cut flower? Ito po yung ideal stage. We call this cupping. Pag nagka-cupping na ng ganito, this is a day before it fully blooms, that's the time to harvest. Hindi po magandang i-harvest nung bukas na. Kasi sandali na life niya. Oo. Pag ganitong stage, nagka-cupping na siya, yan, saka tayo puputol. Saka tayo mag-harvest.
Mm.
Paano tayo mag-harvest? Early in the morning? Anong ideal time? Early in the morning or late in the afternoon? Wag midday again. Doon
Mhm.
sa ano mo, doon sa stem mo, you cut at least 2 to 3 feet of the stalk. Hindi po doon sa mismong flower mismo, hindi po doon sa mismong flower head. We want this to be
Mhm.
as long as possible. Ang may iwan lang doon sa heel mo, yung halos yung base na nung halaman with the roots. But the rest you cut. From that point on, from that point, ikakat mo at a 45-degree angle. Then, ilagay ka agad sa tubig. Then, every day, putol ka to keep it fresh. Then, palitan mo rin yung water mo every day para fresh pa rin yun. In such a
Hindi na
way, na-extend mo yung vase life nung halaman. Lalo na kung hindi pa agad gagamitin. Kung gagamitin to as a for wedding, as a bouquet, ganun ang pinaka-ideal na gawin. Uh, at the capping stage, harvest, putol 2 to 3 feet or 3 feet or more of the stalk. Then, every
Mhm.
day, cut the stalk, puputulin mo para fresh pa rin yung ano, hindi nabubulok yung halaman. So, may extend mo yung vase life mo pag ano. Okay? Change the water of your container para hindi rin babahayan ng mga larvae ng mga lamok at hindi mag magiging turbid yung water, yung hindi maglalabo. Okay? Next. For snack seeds naman, ito yung mga varieties yan. Mammoth or super snack seed hybrids. It is harvested beyond 45 days. We want the plant to be dry. Doon sa, for that kind of production, puputulin mo yung ano, halaman, and then you tie at least three of them together, and then you hang them in a dry place to dry some more. Pag dry na, makikita mo na yun, ano na, halos laglag na yung mga petals niya, and then yung seed head niya dito, brown na. Pag nirab mo yung, if you rub the flower head with your hand, after mga 50 days or 2 weeks ng drying after harvesting, nahuhulog na yung ano, nahuhulog na yung disc florets to expose the
Mhm.
seeds. Makikita mo na yung ano,
Mhm.
makikita mo na. So, makikita nito sa next slide natin. Next slide. Yan. Natanggal na yung disc florets niyan. Wala na rin yung petals niya, yung ray florets, yung yellow. Ang naiwan na lang, yung mismong seeds. Yan. Uh, anuhin mo lang yan, i-rub mo lang yung seed head, mahuhulog na yung disc florets, makikita mo na yung seeds mismo. Okay?
Mhm.
And next slide. Yun. Ito po yung aming mammoth Russian. They are striped. Ito yung ginagamit for snack seeds. Itong size na to ng bloom, ng flower bloom, yung seed head namin, ay almost kasing laki ng isang bilao. Medium size na bilao. Ganyan kalaki yan. Ang dami niyang seeds. So, ginamit namin yan.
Mhm.
Nilapit namin ni Rose para ibenta. Okay? Next. Ano ba yung cost to produce? I don't think most of our audience will be going into commercial production. Most of course, would be doing this as a hobby, mga plantito and plantita. But if you're going to do this commercially, for 1 hectare, it takes around 8 to 10 pesos per plant to produce uh, sunflowers. Kasama na dyan
Mhm.
seed cost, labor, water, electricity, farm inputs, organic fertilizers, biostimulants, mulch if you're using plastic mulch. Yan. So as a sample, next slide, gross. Bakit po 16,000? We produced in 2,500 square meters. We planted around 4,000 to 6,000 seeds.
Mm.
So in 1 hectare, you have 10,000 square meters. So i-multiply mo lang yung uh, 4,000, you'll come up with 16,000 for 1 hectare. Plus or minus 10% mortality due to diseases or pests. So you have 14,400 plants at harvest. Multiply that by 10 pesos. On the high end na tayo ng computation natin. It will give you a gross of 144,000.
Mm.
Ito, if you will sell this yourself as a farmer, you can sell this for 100 to 150. However, ngayon, pandemic, nakita ko sa news, ang sunflowers daw per stem is now selling at 10 to 40 pesos. So, ganun ka hirap na magbenta ng mga cut flowers. During its pre-pandemic, ito yung bentahan 100 to 150. Ikaw. Pero yung iba, yung mga resellers, they sell this for 300 per stem. So, mas malaki pa. So, if you will multiply this 100 pesos times 14,400, that will give you a gross of 1.4 million. Less yung expenses mo, mga net of 1.2 thereabouts, 1.2 million. Unfortunately, hindi natin makukuha ngayong pandemic kasi talagang ang hirap pumasok to the magbenta ng cut flowers ngayon. Kaya we're really hoping na matapos na to para lahat tayo makapag-chill sa farm, sa Instagrammable farm ni Lamay Caballes. Okay? Next, I'm almost nearing my presentation. So, in everything that you do, I am not my specialization is not really ornamentals. My specialization is plantation crops actually. Kakao yung aking kakao yung thesis ko But it's always ganun ka-flexible, ka-adaptable ang mga horti people. Meron naman tayong horti-horti, iba pang minor horti subjects during di ba, our college days. So we can learn everything. So it's always everybody can plant, but not everybody can grow. Lahat naman kaya magtanim I don't believe na meron iba na hindi green thumb. Yung passion lang, kailangan ilagay mo yung passion mo doon sa ginagawa mo. Kaya po pangalan na Passion Heart yan. Yung the Three-View Jeremiah House Learning Center, our training center for special needs children, is passion, heart, and patience. Yung tatlong yun, very important in everything that we do. So, yan po ang aking presentation. We are Passion Heart Farms. Jardín de Mirasol. Jardín de Mirasol is Garden of Sunflowers. We are the authorized distributor of Nutri-Protect, yung kanina mga pinakita ko. This is imported and distributed by our HortSoc brand, Ray Di Vinagracia from Davao. This is distributed here in Laguna by me and Brad Rene Ignacio and his other Vanguard Brad, si God Loyola de la Cruz. So, yun lang po. Maraming salamat for spending time with us, with me this afternoon. Are you selling seeds of
Maraming salamat po, sir. Sir,
Yes.
we will entertain some questions lang po, sir. Sir, according kay Talupat wants to ask po, are you selling seeds of sunflower? Interested daw po siya, sir.
Maganda sana, but we're not producing sunflowers right now. We're into vegetable farming right now.
Mm.
But yung ganitong variety, these are commonly sold in agri-supply stores. Ang nagdadala nito kasi, yung dating company ni Mike, Allied Botanical Corporation. Madami nito sa agri-supply stores. Right now wala akong uh, what I have right now are we're going to go into sunflower production again. Siguro baka next year. I have a few right now, pero it's for personal consumption lang namin. We're preparing the uh, for the All Saints Day para sa mother-in-law ko.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay po. So currently
Sorry,
po,
hindi tapos supplier ng seeds ngayon talo.
mm. Ito po sir, may isa pa pong question from Rosalia Briones. Can sunflower grow in a high sulfur type of soil?
Kung sobrang acidic, hindi rin
Okay.
dapat moderate lang. Of course, matotolerate niya pero you have to have a good watering regimen. Katulad nga sabi ni Mike. A
Mm.
good irrigation practice is always critical in ornamental production. Actually, in any crops. In Thailand, hindi naman sila heavy on synthetic implements, but they have very clean water. Ang ganda ng kanilang irrigation system. So ang ganda ng uh, kanilang mga crops generally. So for high sulfur, wag lang po dapat moderate lang talaga. Moderate acidity. Hindi po yung sobrang taas. And of course, practice right and correct irrigation regimen.
Yan po. Salamat po, sir. Yan, Doms.
May isa pa pong question, sir, from Fritz Hermoso Season. Good afternoon daw po. Which sunflower variety will you suggest for seed production in making raw seeds that can be used in microgreens po?
Yan, oo. Kasi yung sunflower sprouts are very nice, very good for salads. We used noon yung mammoth Russian. The trick here is to the right germination practice. Yung nga yung ginawa namin. Sa bilao, bin-broadcast namin yung seeds. So, just like other leafy greens, pag bin-broadcast mo, pag tumubo siya, tabi-tabi. Di ba? Wala halos, very dense yung niya. And pag tumubo siya, yung 1 to 2 cotyledons na, that's the right time to pick it. Very crunchy yung variety na yon. So, I would recommend yung mammoth variety.
Yan. Yung mammoth Russian.
You cover the bilao, i-deprive it of sunlight para talagang magpupumilit yung seeds na tumaas. So, mas mabilis siya mag-germinate. The faster ka makaka-harvest ng microgreens.
Ayan. So, that's our last question po for your topic, sir. So, salamat po. Sana po lahat po ng mga viewers namin ay na-inspire na mag-venture into sunflower production. And sana po marami po kayo natutunan sa amin, kay Sir Rafi po. And Sir Rafi, sir, last advice na lang po siguro sa mga na-inspire po ninyo na mag-venture into sunflower production.
Yun lang. PHP, sabi ko nga. Passion, Heart, and Patience. Passion, Heart, and Patience. Yun ang motto namin sa Jeremiah House Learning Center. It's been my motto, life motto also. In anything you do, yun lang, tatlong yun. Passion, Heart, and Patience. Put your heart into it. Be passionate with everything you do. And be patient.
Mm.
Kailangan i-practice yun. Lalo na, I was able to practice that because I'm teaching special needs persons. So, talagang kailangan marami ganon. In farming as well. Lahat, madaling, ang isang pinakamalaking problema na encounter ko sa farming, aside from the weather, na hindi mahirap i-control, is also attitude. Attitude ng mga workers. Isa yan sa mga mahirap i-control. Pag ang tao palaging hanap lang yung mabilisang kita, hindi niya nilalagay yung kanyang puso doon sa gagawin niya. Ang tingin niya doon, trabaho lang. Hindi, wala yung puso doon. So, ang hirap Ang hirap mag-motivate pag ganun ng tao. So, you really have to re-educate. You have to put that in their minds: passion, heart, and patience.
Ayan, so PHP. Yan. Tandaan po ng ating mga viewers. PHP, passion, heart, and patience. Ayan po. Maraming salamat po, Sir Rafi, at kay Sir Mike po sa
Very much, then.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
po.
sir.
Educational, sobrang packed with information yung ating today's webinar. So, yan, di ba, Doms, na nalaman natin na yung mga iba't ibang ayun niya yung kanina kay Sir Mike, yung kung paano mag-grow ng mga annual flowering plants, tapos kay Sir Rafi naman yung mga particular to sunflower production, tapos nalaman din natin yung iba't ibang degree kung ano ba yung mga according sa plants, ano ba yung mga madaling i-grow, ano ba yung mga mahirap i-grow. Yun.
Yeah.
So, diba, sobrang dami mo ring natutunan.
Yeah, actually, like, mas nag-widen yung horizon ko. And also, parang, it's also nice to hear from to learn from their experiences as well. Kasi it's something that we will not just learn by, diba, in the corners of our classroom, but also, we grow with their experiences as well. So ngayon, nabusog tayo ng bongga dun sa mga, sa dalawa ng kaalaman to our speaker. So ngayon, try to let's try to have a game. So okay, I hope that you installed your Kahoot, everyone.
Ayan, naglalaro na tayo sa lahat po ng mga viewers natin. Sana po, nag-download nyo na po yung app na kanina, yung Kahoot, or punta na lang po kayo sa website nila, yung kahoot.it. Yan po, nakikita po natin sa ating mga screen, kung ano yung itsura ng Kahoot na ida-download niyo. Tapos yung code po natin for today's game, at mananalo po tayo ng mga prizes from Passion Heart Farms. Po. Yan, shoutout po kay Ma'am Myla, makikinig. God bless po yung HortSoc. Thank you po. Shoutout po kayo ng mga susunod natin mga webinars. Yan. Habang marami pa pong yung time po natin ating mga players sa ating game, like na natin yung comments.
Ayan po. Sabi po pala ni Ma'am Pelar Mercado, thanks daw po. Thank you rin po sa pag-attend. I hope that attend din kayo sa mga susunod po nating mga webinars.
Ayan, meron na tayong players.
Yeah. So, ayun po. Sabi po ni Ma'am Clouds, Nogar, thank you po at napaka-heartwarming po ng webinar na to. So true, kitang-kita po natin na ang passionate po ng mga speakers natin pagdating sa kanilang pag-venture. Especially po, kitang-kita po natin yung hard work po nila and effort po sa pagpapaintindi sa atin sa mga annuals and flowering plants po.
Yes, pasalamatan natin yung mga sponsors natin for this webinar, Bukid Amara, Green Minds Incorporated, Psyche Plants, Ludwig and Lark, Project Upgrade, and Jittery Shots. So, ayun po yung mga sponsors po natin. Maraming salamat po sa pagsuporta sa webinars po ng UP HortSoc. Sana po sa darating po na mga iba pong mga webinars ay nandyan pa rin po kayo para mag-support. At ayun po, search nyo lang din po sa mga viewers po natin. Search nyo lang din po kung may katanungan po kayo. Search nyo lang po yung Bukid Amara sa FB page po nila or yung numbers po ng Sir Rafi and Sir Mike po. Ayun po. Kung gusto nyo po silang tanungin or may ano po kayo, gusto nyo pong bilhin yung mga produkto nila. Ayun po. Yan,
Okay,
meron
so
tayo ng 15 players.
so by the way pala, since di ba may game tayo, hindi naman tayo magpapagame kung walang prize. So,
Tama.
yung magiging winner nito ay magkakaroon ng sunflower seed. So, sponsor siya ng Passion Heart. So para ma-apply nyo agad yung natutunan nyo sa pag-grow ng sunflowers. 'Di ba, bongga? Maglalaro lang kayo, may pa-seeds na kayo.
Ayan. So habang hinintay natin, 19 players na sa mga hindi pa po nakakapag-download ng app, i-download nyo na po yung app natin sa App Store, sa Google Play, yung Kahoot app po natin. Or pumunta lang po kayo sa inyong browser na type nyo lang po kahoot.it. Maraming salamat po ulit sa mga nanood po ng webinar po natin ngayon. Ayan, so sa mga sumali po ng ating game ngayon, nanalo po kayo ng 5 packs of sunflower seeds.
Opo, yung top 5 winners natin mananalo ng sunflower seeds each. So, ma-apply nyo agad yung mga natutunan nyo. Yan.
Sa webinar ngayon, ma-apply nyo na agad. Yung mga tinuro ni Sir Rafi, tinuro ni Sir Mike, ma-apply nyo na agad dun sa ikaw ba, Dogs, na-inspire ka ba magtanim ng mga flowering plants?
Yeah. Oo. Kung wala nang space dito sa loob, sa labas naman.
Ayan, so start na natin yung game. True or false? Sunflowers contains both male and female reproductive organs. True or false? Yan, sa mga sumali po sa ating game, yan na po yung question natin. Sa mga pwede pa po humabol, yan lang po yung natin, game pin. Type nyo lang po yung game pin natin dun sa app.
And sabi po pala ni Lottie Nicolas, very informative daw as always. Thank you very much po. Ayun. And sabi po ni Prince Hermoso Season, thank you daw po Sir Rafi and HortSoc. God bless. Thank you rin po for tuning in our webinar. I hope marami kayong natutunan. So, ayun, nag-start na yung ating timer.
Yan po. Sa makakakuha po kayo ng certificates after po nyo sagutan yung evaluation forms po natin. Ayun po. Para po sa certificate sa mga gusto pong kumuha. Yan. True or false? True ang sagot.
True, di ba? Na diniscuss kanina, nandun sa palibot yung male part and yung female part is yung mga disc florets. Yay!
Ayan, no? Yan, Tus. Saktong-sakto about sunflower yung tanong.
Where is Bukid Amara located? Sa Lumban, Laguna, Los Baños, Laguna, Sariaya, Quezon, or Lucban, Quezon? Again, saan ulit nakalocate ang Bukid Amara? Lumban, Laguna, Los Baños, Laguna, Sariaya, Quezon, or Lucban, Quezon?
Yan, ano kaya ang sagot? Nasaan kaya? Ang
sabi
Bukid
pala
Amara.
ni Russell Astudillo, passion, heart, and patience. Super love it. Yes, true. Yun talagang currency mo to survive in business. Ang astig din, PHP, para siyang peso. And then ginawa siyang, it's like a currency.
Di ba sabi nga kanina ni Sir Rafi, parang not everyone can plant, but not everyone can grow. Ayan, Lucban, Quezon.
Tukban Quezon. So, 17 yung nakatama. Ayan, so si Heliantos pa rin yung yung ating top
Sino kaya yan,
player.
Helian?
Bongga.
Next question. What is an annual flowering plant? A plant that germinates seeds, flowers, and dies in 1 year. A plant that loses all leaves in winter. Or a plant that can live for more than 2 years. So yan. Ano kaya ang sagot? Ano kaya yung
Ano
annual
kaya? Ano kaya yung annual flowering plant?
Parang gusto ko rin sumali ah.
Oo nga eh. Sabi pala
Yeah,
ni
hello
Sir
po.
Roel Collado Guillermo, thank you daw Sir Rafi and to the host as well. To HortSoc too. Thank you very much din for tuning in. Ayun, we have 20 seconds left. Ayun, sana. Tingnan natin kung siya pa rin yung magtatap. Oy! Meron daw tayong one happy plantita. Sabi ni Cringy man na lang. Thanks daw, HortSoc. Yay!
Ayan, 21 na nakuha ng tamang sagot. Annual flowering plant, a plant that germinates, seeds, flowers, and dies in 1 year.
Yay! Lahat sila nakatama.
Sino kaya ang top? Wow, si Eliantos pa din.
Francis pa rin.
Paalala natin, yung top 5 mananalo kayo ng seeds.
So which of the following are varieties of sunflower? The following are varieties of sunflowers except Mammoth Russian, Crimson Queen, Dreamland, and Vincent Choice. Again, the following are varieties of sunflowers except Mammoth Russian, Crimson Queen, Dreamland, and Vincent Choice.
Ayan, si Sir Ray Divinagracia. Salamat, HortSoc. Salamat, Sir Rafi, at sa ating lahat po. Ayan po, siya po yung nagsusupply nung kaninang yung kaninang sinabi ni Sir Rafi na fertilizer. So, pwede nyo po i-message si Sir Ray Divinagracia. Ano kaya ang variety?
Ano kaya ang hindi variety? Dreamland.
Ayan, may 4 na nagsagot ng Vincent Choice.
Oh, yun yung pinakaunang
Pa din mukhang nakinig
Pinakaunang-
sa webinar
Nakinig ng maigi. Mukhang nag-note.
True or false? Food production is the primary role of annual flowers. True or false?
Sabi pala ni Ma'am Dina Belistina, very informative and comprehensive lectures by knowledgeable and passionate speakers. Thanks for selflessly sharing your knowledge. Congratulations to the organizers. Thank you so much din. Yeah.
Diba, ang dami nating viewers, saan pa sila gagaling. So, sana po na-inspire po kayo na mag-venture into flowering plant production.
True.
Yeah. True kaya or false?
True or false? False.
Tamang sagot ay false.
False.
Food production.
Oo, kadalasan they are for ornamental. Uy, si Heliantos pa rin yung top.
Okay,
Bongga.
next question.
True or false? The best time to transplant is early morning or late afternoon. True or false?
Po, thank you po, Miss Julian Aragones, sa panonood po. Thank you po. Yan, true ang tamang sagot.
True, yeah. Oo, kasi 'di ba, sabi nga ni Sir yung ah, ah, kapag tanghali mas prone yung mga sunflowers to have transplanting shock dahil sa heat. So, yun, si Helianthus pa rin yung top player.
So, 7th question. Blank is the world's main producer of commercial tulip plants. The Netherlands, Japan, Korea, or Germany?
Oo nga, saan kaya?
Saan kaya yung main producer of commercial tulip plants?
Thank you, Ma'am Patricia. Energetic daw Thailand. Hindi lang po masyadong halata kasi kinakabahan ko talaga kami.
So, kinakabahan pa talaga kami.
Opo. Kunwari nakipag-video chat na lang kami sa mga friends namin.
Kunyari lang, casual lang na
Casual lang na. Chika-chika lang.
Salamat po.
Thank you so much.
Nood po kayo ulit sa next Saturday naman po. Next topic ay about agritourism, di ba, Doms?
Yeah, bonggang-bongga.
Yan. So, the Netherlands ang world's main producer of tulip plants. So, si Helianthus pa din. Sino kaya yun?
Wow. Ibang level. O yun, last 2 questions na tayo. The sunflowers must be planted under full sun condition. Sunflowers must be planted under full sun condition. True or false?
Yan po, katulad po na sabi ko kanina, next webinar po namin ay about agritourism. Yun po, hintayin nyo lang din po yung live stream po namin sa FB page ng UP Horticultural Society. Bigatin din po mga speakers yung mga magsasalita.
Ayun, thank you po Sir Renato. Sa pag-tune in.
1-0.
It's
Nako,
true.
may isa pang nagkamali.
Oo, sayang. Oo. Baka daw medyo full sun, gano'n.
Ayan, Helianthus pa din yung una natin. Followed by Sunflower, Jar, Sunny, at si Cass. Okay. 9th question. What is the largest individual flower in the world? Coxcomb, sunflower, amaryllis, or stinking corpse flower?
Oh, yan meron na tayong mahiwagang clue. Mukha siyang Pokemon, di ba? Sino ba yun? Si Gloom.
Pokemon.
Yeah. Also, if you like our webinars pala, and if you want more to get in touch with UP Horticultural Society, you can like our page, UP Horticultural Society. You can message us if you have questions, you have suggestions. Also, you can also comment dito if may greetings kayo or questions, di ba? In last 5 seconds. Ayun. So the answer is stinking corpse flower. So we also know it as Rafflesia, di ba? It's very famous. We have it here, di ba, sa Makiling. May mga nakapunta na, lalo na mga nag-hike. Nakakita na sila ng Rafflesia. Okay, last question. Which of the following flowers can survive by getting the necessary nutrients from the air rather than the soil? Lavender, daisy, orchids, or petunia?
Yan, sabi ni Ma'am Lottie Nicolas, Thank you for reading my comment. I look forward to Saturdays because of this informative
Aw,
webinar. Many DA and BSWM employees are fans of this webinar. Thank you po. Yan po,
thank
di
you
ba,
so much.
Goms? Marami na din talagang sumusubaybay sa bawat webinar
Yeah,
nito na kasi sobrang talagang informative ng mga webinar na to and we invited talaga speakers of their profession. Yan, tamang
oh,
sagot
or,
our kids.
orchids. Kasi di ba, kadalasan they are like, naka-attach lang sila sa trees or
Mm.
naka-hang. They're called epiphytes. Tapos, they usually gather from the air. So,
Yan, sino
ayan.
kaya ang nanalo?
Sino ang nanalo? So, by the
As,
way, for sunflower, kasi Elianthus.
Elian.
It's Elianthus. Yay! So, by the way, for our winners, yung top 5, you know who you are. You can just message our page to inquire on how you will claim your prize. So, congratulations to all our winners.
Congratulations
A,
po.
yeah, a job well done. Yay! Halatang nakinig kayo ng bonggang-bongga sa aming webinar.
Yan. Again, congratulations po sa mga nanalo. I-message nyo na lang po yung UP Horticultural Society's Facebook page para kunin ang inyong mga premyo. And that wraps our Sunday afternoon on behalf of the UP Horticultural Society. Thank you
Saturday.
Thank you all for making time in your busy schedules to join us today. Another exciting adventure awaits next week because we will discuss about agritourism.
Yeah, very interesting. So, we hope to see you next week again. Subaybay lang kayo dito. By the way pala, if you want, pwede kami magbigay ng e-certificates. So, you can contact HortSoc, UP Horticultural Society. You can inquire dun sa page on how to claim. And we also have
Mhm.
evaluation. So, we hope to see you again. Thank you very much. And happy weekend. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank you po.